Well, the Lancaster Barnstormers were able to strike the first blow the other night in this current three-game series against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Lancaster took advantage of some defensive mistakes on the part of Southern Maryland and rallied from a 5-0 deficit to win the other night, 8-5. That pulled Lancaster into a first-place tie with Southern Maryland in the North race here in the second half. Both clubs with identical 12-10 records. A lot of baseball between these two teams still to play on the season, and a lot still to play here tonight. We have beautiful weather here in Southern Maryland, and we largely avoided the direct hit from Hurricane Ida that so many places on the eastern seaboard did get yesterday. The hotel fared better than the ballpark. They lost power for a while here at the stadium, but the field is in great shape today, and everything is ready to go for our doubleheader here tonight. Other parts of Maryland, you may have heard, had tornadoes. Not too far from us, Charles County, where we're situated, was in a tornado warning, but never was a tornado-warned storm actually headed for the community of Waldorf. One cut through the southern part of the county, and the other one cut through the northern part of the county, and we were left untouched as far as the severe weather was concerned. Just quite a bit of rain here in Maryland yesterday, just like everywhere else I had on the East Coast, but not nearly as much as southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and up to New York City got hit. I have been in touch with the Long Island Ducks today. They're fine, and we will have no problem with getting the four-game series underway between the Barnstormers and the Ducks coming up over this holiday weekend. We've got that four-game series scheduled for these next 4 days, the holiday weekend, and good weather expected on Long Island. Now, getting there could be a little bit more of an issue because there are some flooded roadways in New Jersey in between us down here in Southern Maryland and getting up to Long Island to start that four-game series tomorrow night. But it is an overnight trip for the Barnstormers. Meanwhile, we have doubleheader baseball here tonight. In Game 1, Augie Silk on the hill for the Barnstormers, and Misael Severio is the scheduled starter for Southern Maryland. They're both lefties. Silk is 3-4 on the season. Severio has a record of 1 win and 4 losses overall. He's 1-1 since coming to Southern Maryland. He had been 0-3 with West Virginia. Starting lineups for Game 1, Caleb Gindel leads off. He is the designated hitter. Blake Allemond is back in the lineup. He will bat second and play second base. It was a minor finger injury, as it turns out, that bothered Allemond the other night, taking the bounce throw from Jake Hoover, but Allemond able to play here tonight. Alejandro Diaz is the center fielder batting third. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Kelly Dugan. Ladarius Clark is in right field. He is batting number 5. Trayvon Robinson, the left fielder, will hit 6th. The catcher batting in the number 7 slot is Anderson De La Rosa. Jake Hoover is going to play short and bat 8th, with Nick Shumpert at third base in Game 1 batting 9th. Augie Silk, 3-4 on the hill for the Barnstormers. He is 1-1 in 3 starts against Southern Maryland. For the Blue Crabs, or they're playing as the Blue Cheeses tonight, it'll be Cesar Trejo leading off in left field. Ruby Silva, the second baseman, batting second. Jovan Rosa, the designated hitter, is in the number 3 slot. David Harris is batting cleanup and playing right. The first baseman hitting number 5 is Alex Crosby. Josh McAdams will bat 6th and play 3rd. Zach Collier, the center fielder, is hitting 7th. The catcher batting in the number 8 slot is Joe DeLuca. And Michael Baca is at shortstop batting 9th for Southern Maryland here tonight, with Misael Severio on the hill, a native of Cuba who has been pitching in the United States and Mexico for several years now after getting his career started with 6 or 7 seasons in the Cuban professional leagues. He is 1-4 overall with a 7.36 ERA, but since coming to Southern Maryland, 1-1 in 3 starts, and his earned run average is 3.94. The weather couldn't possibly be any more pleasant than it is here at Southern Maryland for this evening's game, as we have a lot of baseball. 2 7-inning contests, just the second doubleheader played by the Barnstormers this season. Amazingly, the other one was also here at Regency Furniture Stadium back on June the 12th. That resulted in a split, with Southern Maryland taking the opener 3-0, and the Barnstormers coming back in the late innings to capture the nightcap by the score of 3-1. The Blue Crabs assemble at their own dugout as we get ready to take part in the opening game of this doubleheader. The Barnstormers, as soon as the twin bill is over and everybody can get packed up and ready to go, will be pointed northward toward Long Island in a big 4-game series against the Ducks over the weekend. Barnstormers and Southern Maryland lead the division by 3 over the Ducks, and by 3.5 over the York Revolution. Long Island and York playing a single game tonight. There was some action in the Atlantic League last night. There was a doubleheader between Lexington and West Virginia to make up the rainout from the night before. And West Virginia swept that twin bill 7-6 in the opener, 9-2 in the nightcap. High Point extending its lead over Gastonia. As a matter of fact, West Virginia has now forged into second place in the Southern Division. High Point winning last night as Tommy Lawrence won his 10th. He is the only real challenger to Darrell Thompson, who we'll see in Game 2 tonight for Atlantic League Pitcher of the Year. Lawrence now 10-2 for the High Point Rockers. Severio will take the hill for the Southern Maryland Blue Cheeses, as they are tonight. I'm not sure I'm quite as willing to run with that as I am the historic name of Charleston Charlies. But Southern Maryland playing as the Blue Cheeses this evening for whatever reason, since Blue Crabs are a lot more indigenous to Southern Maryland than blue cheese. But in any event, we're going to send you down to the field for our opening ceremonies.
Please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your caps as we welcome Ellen Nelson to honor America with a performance of our national anthem.
Barnstormers and Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the opener of a doubleheader tonight here at Regency Furniture Stadium. Following the heavy rains of yesterday, we have absolutely sensational weather here tonight. It'll be interesting to see how the hitters fare in Game 1 of this doubleheader. The last time that the Barnstormers played a doubleheader here, Southern Maryland shut out Lancaster in Game 1 by a score of 3-0. Mike Devine was absolutely incredible in Game 1, striking out 11. But very often it is tough to hit here while the sun is setting. We have seen that throughout our 13 seasons now of coming into Regency Furniture Stadium, and we'll see what kind of a game we have in the opener of this doubleheader. By Game 2, with it being later in the summer and approaching Labor Day weekend, that should not be as much of an issue. The sun should pretty much be down, I would think, by the time we would get to the second game of tonight's doubleheader. On the mound is left-hander Misael Severio without an L. He is from Villa Clara in Cuba, 32 years of age, 5'9", and a 210-pounder. He pitched for the first 6 years of his professional career during the winter in the Cuban leagues and was highly successful there. Then eventually went to Mexico. The Seattle Mariners signed him. His only experience in the Major League affiliated system came in 2015. He was 5-12 in Double-A with the Mariners at that time in Jackson, Tennessee. He then headed to Sioux Falls in the American Association. He's pitched in the Mexican leagues quite a bit. And earlier this year, he was with Milwaukee in the American Association as well as West Virginia. He's facing Caleb Gindel leading off. Caleb in the lineup tonight as the designated hitter in Game 1, batting .290. He's on 4 consecutive multi-hit games, 24 home runs, 65 runs batted in for Caleb Gindel. The Barnstormers wearing their red jersey tops in Game 1. The motion and the pitch. Gindel rolls a slow ground ball to the second baseman, Silva, with an easy play. Gindel is retired 4-3. We have one man out. It'll bring on Blake Alleman, the switch-hitting second baseman. He will come in from the right side of the plate. Defensively, it is Josh McAdams at third, the shortstop Michael Baca at second base, Ruby Silva, Alex Crosby at first. Cesar Trejo is in left with Zach Collier in center and David Harris in right. Joe DeLuca catching for Southern Maryland. Here is Alleman with one out, nobody on base, and Blake will take a pitch inside and low. It's ball one and no strikes. John Thomas is calling balls and strikes here this evening. Nick Mull, the first base umpire, and over at third is Mike Williams. 1-0, the count to Alleman, the left-hander Severio into the motion, the pitch, a fastball swung on and missed, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike. Augie Silk, one of his 2 most successful outings, has come on this very field. The other one was also against Southern Maryland, but at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We'll see how he fares here in Game 1. Outside, and Alleman bats at 2-1 against the left-hander. Alejandro De Aza waits on deck, and then Kelly Dugan, 2 guys generally not affected by facing left-handed pitching, nor for that matter is Gindel, but he grounded out to open up the night. 3 balls and a strike now to Alleman as Severio misses outside. The left-hander likes to work quickly. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It is high. Alleman will take a walk. The Barnstormers have a runner on with 1 out in the opening inning. Severio has generally controlled the strike zone. He's walked only 9 in 33 innings. He's allowed 45 hits and 33 runs, 27 of those earned in his 33 frames. 7 prior starts in the Atlantic League, 4 with West Virginia, 3 here with Southern Maryland. Now he'll face Alejandro De Aza. Alejandro batting .310. He has 7 homers. He has driven in 52. Defense set straight away against them. The infield at double play depth. The wind tonight is blowing straight out to center field. Pitch is in the dirt, gets away from DeLuca, and on the wild pitch, Alleman goes to second. Well, the Barnstormers move a runner into scoring position, and the count to De Aza is at 1 ball and no strikes. Generally, the wind here blows during the summer months anyway from right across to left, but tonight straight out, a northerly breeze bringing us this dry air and absolutely lovely temperatures for our ball games tonight. Runner at second base is Alleman. 1 ball, no strikes on Alejandro De Aza. Severio looking back at the runner, gives him a second glance, and now to De Aza. Breaking ball runs to the inside corner, and the count levels at 1 apiece. Kelly Dugan is on deck, his hitting streak alive at 15 games. Now, it's always tougher to keep streaks going through these 7-inning doubleheader games because, generally speaking, you lose an at-bat. We'll see if he can stretch it to 17 here tonight. To De Aza, 1-1 pitch. Breaks outside and low. This one blocked by DeLuca, but much easier than the one that got away. 2 balls and 1 strike on De Aza. The Barnstormers have Alleman in scoring position on the walk and the wild pitch. Lancaster trying to break on top early. The outfield continues straight away. If anything, Collier has inched over toward left center field. Deaza pops this up, and this appears to be playable. Ross Peoples clearing room for the third baseman, McAdams, who makes the catch. Deaza fouls out. We have 2 outs in the inning, and Kelly Dugan now left in charge of trying to get this run home. Kelly at .348, he has 11 home runs on the season, 65 driven in. The .348 batting average puts Dugan in a tie for 6th at the moment in the Atlantic League, and the 65 runs batted in has him in a tie for 4th with his teammate Caleb Gindel. Alleman leads off second. Dugan tries to get him home. Always tough here at Southern Maryland in the early going. The pitch way inside to Kelly for a ball. It is 1-0. The Barnstormers had one of their poorer games of the season with runners in scoring position the other night. They were just 2 for 15, but they still put 8 runs on the board on only 9 hits. Dugan with a fly ball the other way. This is routine for Trejo. Just a couple of steps to his left. He makes the catch and ends the inning. So the Barnstormers leave the runner in scoring position. No runs, no hits, no errors, and there was 1 left on base. At the end of a half inning tonight, it is Lancaster nothing, and Southern Maryland is coming up.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Left-hander Augie Silk on the hill tonight for the Barnstormers. The southpaw making his 15th start overall and his 4th against Southern Maryland. He's 3-4. He's thrown 64 2/3 innings, allowing 79 hits. 65 earned runs. The problem has been the base on balls. He's walked 73, and Augie has struck out 61. He had a terrific start here, 5 innings without allowing an earned run in the second game of our doubleheader against the Blue Crabs at Regency Furniture Stadium back on the 12th of June. It was a truly terrific performance. He came out, or looked like he was coming out trailing 1-0, and Anthony Peroni made sure that Augie would not be the losing pitcher. Peroni with a game-tying home run in the top half of the 6th. That made it 1-1. Augie did give up an unearned run in that game. And then the Barnstormers scored 2 in the top of the 7th to pull it out. Cesar Trejo, the left fielder, leads off for Southern Maryland tonight. Trejo batting .291. He has 9 home runs and 37 runs batted in. The two-tone bat held high by Trejo. First pitch from Silk is just a little low and inside. Ball 1-0 from the left-hander from Pacific Palisades, California. Went to Southern Cal. He was not a frontline pitcher there, but certainly impressed the scouts from Kansas City enough to draft him. Here is the 2-0 offering. And to Trejo, the first strike. And now it is 2-1. Trejo began the year with High Point before coming over here to Stan Clyburn and the Blue Crabs, or tonight Blue Cheeses, lined into center field. He's got the leadoff base hit, and Southern Maryland is underway in the bottom half of the first inning. Trejo aboard. Ruby Silva, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Silva at .336 with 14 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Now, the history of the glare in the early innings here at Southern Maryland, a lot of it had to do with the upper tier of signs, and they no longer have that glistening yellow sign that they had here for years and years. That was what the players typically complained about over the seasons. That's no longer there. And we'll see if we see some offense in game one tonight. No score, bottom half of the first inning. Silva, who hit a 3-run homer here off Zach Smith on Tuesday, stands in. He shows bunt, takes a strike against the left-hander Silk. It's 0-1. Silva against the Barnstormers this year, batting .413 with 3 homers, above the .336 overall average, but he's batted .400 since coming to Southern Maryland, or just an eyelash shy of it. Throw to first base, diving back is Trejo. Stan's club doesn't run a lot, but Trejo leads the pack with 13 stolen bases. He's been caught twice on the year. The Barnstormers with Anderson De La Rosa behind the plate. Dugan's at first, Alleman at second, Hoover at short, Shumpert at third. Clark, DeAza, and Robinson the outfield. Bunted foul by Silva, and Augie has him at no balls and 2 strikes. Silk has had 2 great starts and 1 really rough one against the Blue Crabs. So overall, his numbers are 1-1 with a 6.35 ERA, but all those earned runs scored in 1 inning, as he just could not get out of the first the last time he faced this Southern. The back rows of seats down the left field line. Apologize, I just glitched there for a second, I see. The count to Silva is no balls, 2 strikes. Left-handed batting second baseman, the designated hitter Jovan Rosa, waits in the on-deck circle. No score. The Barnstormers missed out on a chance in the top of the inning as Alleman drew a walk and immediately went to second on a wild pitch. But the Barnstormers, 3 and 4 hitters, unable to drive him home. Now the pitch to Silva. Ground ball, shortstop. A chance for 2. Hoover shovels to the second baseman, Alleman, and he is not able to get rid of the throw, and I wonder if that has anything to do with the finger injury. Or Silva also runs pretty well. Alleman held the baseball. Trejo is forced 6-4. Silva's 7 for 8 stealing. He's the runner. And the designated hitter, Jovan Rosa, will step to the plate. Rosa, a well-traveled Atlantic leaguer, but when he has his druthers, I think he plays for Stan. He and Stan were together in New Britain for a while. 2 for 6 since coming here. 0 for 1 the other night. He had been playing in Mexico. High fly ball on the right side. Gindel coasts over toward the line in fair territory. Caleb is there to make the catch. Rosa's retired easily. And tagging and trying to go to second is Silva, and he is thrown out. Silva running the bases aggressively, challenged Gindel right there, and Gindel able to fire the ball back in and cut down Silva 9-6. That's a double play to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit with no errors and nobody left on base. We're through 1 tonight. There is no score here at Southern Maryland.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings, a delicious sub made the way you love, fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals all in one delivery.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
No score on some daring base running on the part of Southern Maryland second baseman Ruby Silva. It was not a terribly deep fly ball along the right field line. It was at medium depth. Gindel going over that way. Now, as a left-handed thrower, he did have to just plant. A right-handed thrower would have actually had to have turned his body. So it made it even easier for Caleb to get that throw off, and it was right on line to second base. Silva cut down. And now for the Barnstormers, it is Ladarius Clark, Trayvon Robinson, and Anderson De La Rosa stepping in against Misael Severio here in the second inning. Clark with a couple of hits, including a big bloop double the other night, batting .274 on the year with 10 home runs. A swing and a miss here against Severio. It is 0-1. He also had a solid single into center field and scored a run in the ninth inning. 2 out of 5, 2 runs scored, 2 driven in here on Tuesday. He shows bunt and takes an off-speed pitch down and away. It's a ball and a strike to Clark. Robinson waiting on deck. Trayvon with a couple of base hits as well here on Tuesday. The Barnstormers only had 9, and the bloop double by Clark was their only extra base hit in that game. And again, they were just 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position, and somehow still managed to score 8 runs in that ball game. They drew 6 walks. Nobody was hit by a pitch. It was the errors in really crucial spots. 2 balls and a strike to Clark. Severio comes back. He is low and in danger of putting Clark on base. 3 balls and a strike. Severio has walked the 1 right-handed batter he has faced in this game. He got the 3 left-handed batters with relative ease back in the first inning. 3-1 on Clark. Ladarius watching and taking a strike. It is now full 3-2. No score here in the second inning as we open up our doubleheader tonight. With the overnight bus ride ahead, foul ball back into the net, and Clark will continue to bat with the count of 3 balls and 2 strikes. College football, of course, a big topic of conversation with the Barnstormers now. This is the first full weekend of games, and everybody's favorite team playing somewhere along the line. For Clark, it is Ole Miss. Native of Meridian, Mississippi, awaiting the 3-2, and that is fouled right back toward me into the net. That net an extra level high, which for me personally is a good thing here. Otherwise, I'd have company from time to time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The holding count on Ladarius Clark. A lengthy battle opening up the top half of the second inning. Severio ready to go. 3-2 pitch. Breaks in there. Strike 3 call. Beautiful breaking ball. Clark was hoping for a fastball. The breaking pitch froze him. 1 down. Here is Trayvon Robinson, the left fielder. Robinson now at 239 after going 2 for 3 as the designated hitter on Tuesday. He has 8 home runs on the year. He's driven in 41. Well, the singles often come when you're just starting to gear back up. So hopefully Tuesday, a turnaround night for Robinson. Severio to the plate, and Robinson will look at a fastball across for a strike. It is 0-1. The ticket very often here at Southern Maryland in these early hours while the sun is going down, it's lower in the sky, is just to throw strikes. 0-1 pitch, Robinson behind that, a swing and a miss. It is 0-2. You very often see low-scoring games here at Southern. We had a game many seasons ago now, about 2010. Sean Thompson came in here, left-hander who was not known to strike out a lot of hitters, and he reached double digits. So did his opponent that night. Robinson against a changeup, swings and misses. So Severio has set down 2. That brings on the catcher Anderson De La Rosa, batting .262 with 4 home runs, and he has knocked in 42. We have no score, top of the second. The Barnstormers without a base hit yet. Alamund has reached on a walk. Cesar Trejo led off with a single against Silk, And then Augie needed to face just 2 more batters to get out of the inning. De La Rosa comes to the plate. Anderson was 1 for 5 the other night. He had an RBI single in the 9th as the Barnstormers pulled away and made the save a little bit easier for Scott Schumann. Scott did give up a double to David Harris the other night, but that was all as he earned his 15th. 1 strike to De La Rosa. The hitters are now in the shadows, the pitcher in brilliant sunshine. Fastball is outside slightly, and De La Rosa bats 1-1. Jake Hoover, the shortstop, waits on deck. Barnstormers and Blue Crabs in game 1 out of 2 tonight. There are still 9 more meetings between these 2 ball clubs. It bounces away, and De La Rosa now has ball 2. A lot of room up the middle for Anderson. The shortstop, Baca, swung toward the hole. Now he moves back a little bit more straight away, but still pulled somewhat toward the hole. McAdams behind the bag over at third. De La Rosa awaits the 2-1. Breaking ball missing inside. And now De La Rosa has 3 balls in a count. Severio has been there against Alamand, Clark, and now De La Rosa. 3 balls and 1 strike to the catcher. Here is the motion by the lefty and the pitch. Hard hit ground ball right side. Bobbled momentarily by Silva. He recovers, and there is time to get De La Rosa. 4-3 on the conversion. The Barnstormers go down in order in the top half of the 2nd inning. Nothing across for Lancaster. At the end of 1.5, we still have no score between the Barnstormers and the Blue Crabs.
Hey, $2 bill here, aka the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with Quick Cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at $150 grand. Plus Quick Cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Zero as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. David Harris, Alex Crosby, and Josh McAdams slated for Southern Maryland in this scoreless battle. Barnstormers tomorrow night will be sending Niall Ball to the mound. We'll face all right-handers on Long Island, none of these lefties. We have daytime games, by the way, both Sunday and Monday against the Ducks. So plan on that. 1:35 both days, I believe it is. Still continuing his warm-up throws after some changeover with De La Rosa, making the final out. Now, that was one of the things that they had talked about with the pace of play rules. You may remember the designated runner for the catcher. It didn't matter. De La Rosa wasn't on base. He just made the final out here, but they talked about that. But it would have been wholly unfair, and that one did get shot down. The reason is there was a reason, and I believe it was at the time Southern Maryland had James Skelton. And, of course, one of the reasons you signed James Skelton is because, well, he's faster than most other base runners, let alone most other catchers back in the day. So if you have a designated runner for the catcher to save a little bit in between innings once in a while, if that guy's on base, it would have been extremely unfair and negated the need for Skelton's speed.
I mean, James had a lot of other attributes, but the speed was definitely one of them. Inside to David Harris. Ball 1-0 to the right fielder. He had a couple of doubles the other night. 276 hitter on the season with 13 long balls. Silk is inside and low, falling behind at 2-0. Barnstormers and Southern Maryland, first game of a doubleheader, a split, and the Barnstormers will get out of town, sharing first place, called strike, and Harris now bats at 2-1 against Augie Silk. Alleman cheating up the middle here. Here is the motion from Silk, the pitch. This one is low, and Augie risks giving up that first walk of the night. The base on ball certainly has been an issue for the left-hander. He was able to keep those under control largely in his last start. His 3-1 pitch is inside. Harris draws the walk. I'll tell you what, one of the things slowing down the game of baseball is the hitters disrobing like you see Harris doing right now after a walk or an HBP, and they do it at first base or second if they reach a base hit. They got the wrist guards and the elbow pads and the shin guards and everything else when they're at the plate, and it's understandable, but it does take a few seconds. Harris, the base runner, he's 3 for 4 stealing. The batter is first baseman Alex Crosby, a .330 hitter with 11 home runs. And the first pitch, good for a strike on Crosby. It is 0-1. Crosby is one of 2 Blue Crabs players who will be leaving the ball club for a little bit in September to go play overseas. Breaking ball, missing outside, and to Crosby, it's 1-1. Josh McAdams waits on deck. He's the homer and RBI leader on this Southern Maryland team, which didn't hit very much early in the year, but offensively, this team has caught fire lately. Silk breaks a pitch off the outside corner again, so he has fallen behind Crosby. 2-1 here with Harris, the runner at first, nobody out. Infield set, double play depth. Silk into the motion, 2-1 pitch, lifted foul off the end of the bat, out of play. 2-2 the count. Augie against the left-hander Silva in the first inning, got him to hit a slow ground ball to the shortstop Hoover. The Barnstormers only able to get 1 out on the play, but then Silva tried to dash for second on a medium depth fly ball along the right field line, and Gindel hosed him out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Crosby. Harris out to the lead. He is going to stay put, and the pitch is hit high to right, not terribly deep. Gauging it is Gindel. The wind pushes it a little deeper. He'll make the catch, and Harris just kidding this time. He doesn't want to give Gindel another opportunity to throw a runner out at second. 1 man down. McAdams will step in. The third baseman batting .285 with 18 homers and 64 runs driven in. McAdams had a nice night at the plate here on Tuesday, 2 for 4. He singled home 2 runs in the first inning, also drew a walk, but it was McAdams who had the rough night in the field. He failed to scoop up a ground ball by Ladarius Clark in the 6th inning, and then threw away a ground ball by Anderson De La Rosa in the 7th. That helped the Barnstormers to that 8-5 victory. Both were in critical situations with runners on. A ball is high. It is 1-0 on the slugging McAdams. We've described this before. He looks like a power hitter. Just has that build, that presence in the box. Silk comes back 1-0. He's upstairs and drops behind 2-0. Left-handed batting center fielder Zach Collier is in the on-deck circle. Scoreless ball game, bottom of the 2nd inning, 1 out, 1 on for Southern Maryland. The Barnstormers have had the only runner advance to scoring position so far in this game. Alleman got to second base in the opening inning. To McAdams, a swing and a miss. Now 2 balls and 1 strike against Augie Silk, a 6'3" lefty, just 23 years of age. It's amazing to see the age differential in the Atlantic League this year. There have been a couple of pitchers in this league who are 21 years of age, and then you have guys like Olmo Rosario at 41.
High, 3 balls and a strike. Alejandro Diaz is 37. You have all these veteran hitters who have just been around the game for a long, long time and know just about every trick there is in the book, and these pitchers who are just starting out. It has been at times a little bit of a mismatch, but these young guys, they're learning. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That is knocked down the right field line, slicing foul. Gindel, no chance to get to it. McAdams will bat 3-2. Interesting decision here for Stan Clyburn, relayed through the third base coach Ray Ortega. Will they start Harris or not? 3 balls, 2 strikes on third baseman Josh McAdams with 1 out, 1 on here in the second inning of a 7-inning contest. We're not used to these 7-inning contests. Only 1 doubleheader this year. A couple of games have been shortened to 7 against the Ducks. There is that option. Both managers have to agree to it. And Ross and Wally Backman got together, one at Long Island, one at Clipper Magazine Stadium, where we've had fairly lengthy rain delays and a threat of rain later on, and they've shortened the games to 7 by mutual agreement. Swing and a miss, throw down to first base, and sneaking back in barely is Harris. Anderson De La Rosa had a play to get the double play on Harris, but he threw a little bit to the foul side of the bag. Dugan still had time to swing the tag around, but he swung and he missed, and Harris got back in. It was kind of a blind attempt at a tag. Now Collier bats with Harris at first and 2 outs. There was clearly a play on David Harris. De La Rosa cut the throw loose. Again, just slightly to the foul side of the bag, and Dugan swept the tag around. Harris just getting back in safely. Collier steps in. He's batting .313, 9 homers, and 31 driven in. The pitch into the dirt gets away from De La Rosa, and Harris will advance to scoring position. A wild pitch to Silk, and now Southern Maryland has a similar setup to what the Barnstormers had back in the first inning, a walk and a wild pitch, getting a runner into scoring position. It's ball 1 and no strikes on Collier. Now a base hit. Harris running at least reasonably well, likely to score the run. Barnstormers have, that is, by the way, Clark in right field, not Gindel. And there's the hard hit ground ball. Ladarius will have the chance. He's going to come up. Oh, he bobbles the ball, and that will enable Harris to score easily. I can't see right field, and forget Gindel's not out there. Clark is, and he bobbled that ball. No error will be charged because Harris was going to be coming anyway. It just that Clark would have been set up for the throw. And he was the guy getting the outfield assist back in the first inning. You don't run on Gindel. You also don't run on Clark. So Collier is on with the RBI base hit. Southern Maryland breaks ahead 1-0. Catcher Joe DeLuca steps in, a .269 hitter with 10 home runs and 42 knocked in. Collier can be a threat to go. We'll see if he takes off. So that little miss at first base costing the Barnstormers a run here in the second inning. Now a line drive into left by DeLuca, taken on a bounce by Robinson. Collier moving ahead to second. 2 runners are on. Michael Baca, the shortstop, will come to the plate. He's hitting .283 with 4 homers, and he's driven in 30. If De La Rosa's throw had been closer to the bag or inside the bag, Harris would have been doubled off, and Silk would have been out of the inning. Instead, since that, there has been the wild pitch and back-to-back singles. So just a little miss on a throw. And we're talking a little miss. We're not talking a major miss. We're talking just a little bit. That throw had to be just dead on perfect at the bag on the infield side, on the fair side, and it was pretty much at the bag on the foul side. That little miss has created all kinds of problems here in the second inning. So it's runners at first and second, and now ball 1 is low to the shortstop, Baca. Collier at second, DeLuca the runner at first base, and the pitch is right there from Silk. The count will level at a ball and a strike. A run on the board for Southern Maryland. The Barnstormers without a base hit yet. They will need to cover that run, and the sooner the better. Here's the motion and the pitch. Inside-out swing and a little flare out to right field. That's in for a base hit. And Clark overruns it again, trying to get off the throw. 1 run will score. They're going to hold DeLuca at third. He made a wide turn. Oh, Michael Baca fists a base hit out to right. Collier is home. DeLuca goes to third and Baca to second. This time there should be an error charged on the play. It's 2-0, and Cesar Trejo is stepping in. Well, the Barnstormers were so close to the final out of the inning. Now Ross Peoples on his way out to visit with Silk, who has given up 3 consecutive base hits. A ground ball through the right side by Collier, a solid single to left, 1 hop to Robinson off the bat of DeLuca. Baca gets one off the fists and drops it into shallow right. Ladarius Clark overran that one. He bobbled the one before, trying to come up and make a hurried throw. Trejo, the hitter, he singled into center his first trip. Now the Barnstormers are down by 2 in the bottom half of the second inning. Now, Southern Maryland with no difficulty whatsoever making the contact and driving the ball here tonight against Silk. 4 hits and a couple of runs. Just the one error. We'll have to make sure of that officially. Bouncing ball over to third. Schumpert will play an in-between hop, fire across, and he cuts down Trejo. That will end the inning. It is, we'll call it 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. We'll let you know when we come back to be absolutely on the safe side. 2 men left in scoring position. We're done with 2 here at Regency Furniture Stadium in Game 1 with the score Southern Maryland 2 and the Barnstormers nothing.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
This is the sound of the kind of thrill ride summer was made for. Here's the sound of another one. At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll find great deals on our entire line of performance vehicles, including the RCF, LC, and IS. Strap in and then hold on tight. But hurry, the sale ends September 7th. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
So exactly what I told you the ruling should be is what the rulings are. No error on the Collier base hit out in right field, despite the momentary bobble. They were going to send Harris anyway, so you don't charge an error on that. You give the offense the benefit of the doubt. But an error on the Baca single, allowing the other runners to move to second and third. So it's 2-0. Misael Severio working on the shutout and carrying the 2-run lead into the third. Hoover, Schumpert, and Gindel are the scheduled hitters for the Barnstormers. Just that little miss with a throw. Not an errant throw, not a bad throw, just a slight miss. It had to be absolutely perfect to get the double play on Harris. The opening was there, and the Barnstormers unable to convert it. Not only just a little miss with the throw, but then the slight miss with the tag. Harris allowed to stay alive, and with that, 3 straight singles and a couple of runs home. Here is Jake Hoover, the shortstop, 220 hitter with 13 runs driven in. He did not have a base hit at all on Tuesday night. He was 0 for 5, but still found a way to drive in a couple of runs. And the Barnstormers won that game very much so on productive outs. First pitch is high, ball 1 and no strikes. And in tight ball games, productive outs can make a world of difference. Hoover at a ball and no strikes facing Misael Severio for the first time. The Barnstormers did not see him when he was with West Virginia. The left-hander ready to go. Hoover will look at a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Barnstormers are down by 2 here, all singles on the Southern Maryland side. The Barnstormers yet to pick up their first base hit. The only runner was on the one-out walk to Allemond in the first inning. Here is the windup and the pitch. That is upstairs and ball 2. Hoover now batting at 2-1 with the third baseman Schumpert on deck. You probably picked up on the fact that the Blue Crabs have a colored man tonight, and he sits out in front. So it's almost as if you've got a 2-man crew in here. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jake Hoover. Severio into the motion. The pitch is off the outside corner. And Jake, yet another Barnstormer to get to a 3-ball count in this game, and now he has drawn ball 4. So Hoover is on with the leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. The Barnstormers with speed on the bases. He's 4 for 4, swiping bags. The hitter will be Nick Schumpert, the third baseman, batting .203 with a homer and 19 runs batted in. You might see Nick being asked to bunt here, where it's still a 1-run game. 2-run game changes the strategy a bit. Base on balls to start the inning. Schumpert digging in. Severio is going to throw to first. Diving back in is Hoover, who's a very quick fellow. So is the man in the batter's box, Nick Schumpert, trying to build an inning for the Barnstormers. Lancaster down 2 here in the top half of the 3rd. Severio to the set, and a Schumpert high and outside. There's a throw behind Hoover, and that throw ends up down the right field line. Hoover will gallop ahead to second, and he's going to set up shop there. A throwing error will be charged to DeLuca on the play. And Stan Clyburn is going to argue they're sending Hoover to third, saying the ball went out of play. And Stan is saying no dice, he belongs at second, and we'll have a fairly heated discussion here between the home plate umpire John Thomas, who ushered Hoover to third, and the veteran minor league manager Stan Clyburn. He's got that goal ahead of him of winning 2,000 games. Butch Hobson, his good friend, by the way, passed 2,100 this season. Stan not to 2,000 yet, but he's going to get there by the time this is all over with. So the umpires will confer. Some of it has to do with the next base that a runner was headed to. So they're still going to give Hoover third. He is 90 feet away, and Stan is coming back out. And the plate umpire, John Thomas, will continue the discussion with the Blue Crabs believing that Hoover should only be allowed second base. And Thomas, the plate umpire, is the man who is the more animated of the two at the moment. He is explaining his point, and Stan says, all right, I'll give that one to you. So Hoover is at third base, and the batter, Nick Schumpert, trying to pick up a run and get the Barnstormers halfway back on his at-bat here. McAdams and Crosby sneak in from the corners. Baca and Silva back in the middle of the infield. Here is the windup, and to Schumpert, swinging a ball belted toward left center field. Sprinting back on this is Trejo. He won't get to it. It's out to the wall. Hoover scores easily. Didn't matter whether he was at second or third. The previous discussion is moot. Schumpert arrives at second with an RBI double, and the Barnstormers are within one, and they've got Schumpert in scoring position still with nobody out in the inning. Turning this over to Caleb Gindel. Gindel grounded out to the second baseman Silva his first time up. And now we have Stan Clyburn coming back out, and there's another discussion between him and Thomas at home plate. Now, you have to know that one of Stan's, and as a matter of fact, two of Stan's best friends in Lancaster, and two of mine as well, are both named John Thomas. So the third one is catching the ire here. And this continues. Schumpert at second base with nobody out. It's not about Nick. It's about where Hoover was stationed. I guess the point may have been the defense would have been positioned differently Had the runner been at second, then at third, they might have been a little bit deeper. I don't know that it makes a difference, but in any event, Shumpert is at second base with the double. That is his 11th of the season. He drives in his 20th run. Lancaster with the man in scoring position for Gindel. Caleb will at least try to get the ball on the right side. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Barnstormers down 2-1 now. Severio will come to the set, and here's the pitch to Gindel. Caleb squares around. The pitch got the plate. He had pulled the bat back, but he looks at strike one. Trailing in the count, Blake Allemond is on deck, and then Alejandro De Aza here against Severio trying to even the score. The Barnstormers gave up 2 runs with 2 outs in the second inning. This run is scored before the first out in the top half of the third. Barnstormers with plenty of an opportunity here. 0-1, Gindel swings and misses. He goes down a couple of strikes. It's 0-2. Allemond and De Aza would still have opportunities afterwards. Caleb Gindel on the 4 straight multi-hit streak. 2 for 4 here in the series opener. He scored a run. At least trying to move Shumpert up to third base. He trails in the count against Severio, 0-2, the motion and the pitch, and that is a fastball cut on and missed for strike 3. So Gindel unable to accomplish his mission up there as Severio strikes out his third. Allemond will give it a shot from the right side of the plate. Blake with a walk his first trip. Shumpert remains at second base with 1 out now in the inning. 2 chances left to get Shumpert across from second base. Allemond stands in from the right side. Left-hander looks back. Here's the motion, the pitch. Breaking ball to the inside corner and a strike on Allemond. So Severio, after running into difficulty against the bottom of the Barnstormers lineup, has succeeded against the top portion, at least so far. 0-1. That stays outside to Allemond, a ball and a strike. Shumpert could try to steal third base here. He is 13 out of 16 on the year. He's got the speed to do it, but he'd have to guess correctly on the pitch. You don't want to lose the runner from scoring position as much as you'd like to get at the third. Popped up by Allemond. This will not score Shumpert or move him to third base either. Silva back to the outfield lawn, making the catch. And now it is all up to De Aza. Alejandro fouled to third his first time up. Well, the Barnstormers this entire series have had troubles with runners in scoring position. They are 1 out of 5 tonight, just 3 for 20 here at Southern Maryland. De Aza coming to the plate with Shumpert at second, 2 men down. The infielders should play deeper here, although Baca is not all that deep. At the shortstop position, breaking ball gets the inside corner for a strike on De Aza. It's 0-1. Nick Shumpert with the RBI double here in the top half of the third inning. But outside of that, the Barnstormers haven't been able to get much done. Shumpert still at second with 2 outs. Here's the 1-strike pitch to De Aza, and he pops up another one. And once again, it'll be the third baseman, McAdams, this time straddling the line. He'll catch a fair ball. So the Barnstormers aren't able to tie things up here. They get 1 run back on 1 hit, 1 error, and Shumpert left parked at second base. We're headed to the bottom half of the third inning here at Regency Furniture Stadium. The Blue Crabs leading by the score of 2-1.
We are finally back enjoying Barnstormers baseball. I'm Adam Gocknauer from Gocknauer Appliances and thrilled to be sponsoring Barnstormers baseball yet again. We also wanted to thank all of you for your incredible support for our business during the pandemic. We are so happy to still be here helping you with the best brand names and the best prices of major appliances in the area. Enjoy the game, and we will continue to service you now and into the future. Gocknauer Appliances in East Petersburg and on the web at gocknauers.com.
New to Clipper Magazine Stadium in 2021 is Otto's Hospitality. Otto's is totally committed to the fan experience, from quality to convenience to safety. And they are committed to Lancaster, using local food purveyors whenever possible. New menu items like homemade Brauhaus pretzels, Black Angus burgers, and Otto's meatballs are sure to make any Barnstormers game even more fun. Use self-ordering kiosks or your phone instead of waiting in the lines. That's Otto's Hospitality.
Augie Silk back out on the hill as we go to the bottom half of inning 3 here tonight. The camera got jostled. I was trying to move some things around in between innings, so we'll try and line that up once again best as we can here. Second baseman Ruby Silva to lead off against Augie Silk as we go into the bottom half of the third inning. Silva grounded into a force play its first time up. Jovan Rosa and David Harris will follow. Here's the first offering, and it is inside for a ball, and Silva 1-0. And something got jostled audio-wise. Getting a little static. Hopefully you're not experiencing it. Next offering is there for a called strike, and it is 1 ball, 1 strike on the second baseman, Silva. Ball game is 2-1 in favor of Southern Maryland here in the bottom of the third inning. Silk will come back. He fires and misses high and outside to go to 2 balls and a strike to Silva. Ruby Silva the other night with the 3-run homer in the second inning. He added a single, but he was a strikeout victim both times he faced the Barnstormers bullpen in that game. Now a drive to left field. Over on this one is Robinson. He gets blinded, and the ball is past him, rolling to the wall. Silva will sprint around second base. He will pull up there on the leadoff double. I don't know if Trayvon gets there anyway. He was playing back against Silva, who's got great power to the opposite field. That plays very well here at Regency Furniture Stadium. And it looked like Robinson was at least going to get close, and all of a sudden he flinched. And the ball shot past him. It's a double. Jovan Rosa, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. The Shadows have not yet reached the pitcher's mound. Robinson was on his way there, and you saw a little bit of a flinch, a little bit of a duck, and the ball got past him. The Barnstormers appeal to first base, making the claim that Silva missed the bag on the way around, but they don't get the benefit of that call. So a man at second base with nobody out. Rosa will come to the plate. He flied out into a double play back in the first inning as Clark cut down Silva, trying to motor ahead to second. 5 hits now for Southern Maryland. First pitch to Rosa is up. It is a ball and no strikes. That's 4 out of the last 5 for the Blue Crabs against Augie here in the early stages of the ball game. The Barnstormers with just 1 hit. The score is 2-1 Southern Maryland. Runner leads off second. That is Silva. Rosa will take a breaking ball off the inside corner. The Barnstormers ask for help on the appeal. Don't get it. Second game is a matchup of the aces. It is Dominic DeSabatino for the Barnstormers and Darrell Thompson of Southern Maryland. Thompson 10-2. DeSabatino 9-4. Fastball challenges Rosa, swing and a miss. It is now 2 balls and a strike. The right fielder Harris is on deck. Two and 1. The count to Rosa. Silk to the plate. He's upstairs with that, and a 3-ball, 1 strike count now. An advantage to the Southern Maryland designated hitter, Ruby Silva, at second base on the leadoff double. That's his 14th 2-bagger of the season. He's out to a marginal lead. 3-1 to Rosa finds its way. Strike 2 is taken, and the count is full on the designated hitter. Rosa in the DH spot for the second consecutive ball game. The Barnstormers have had Robinson there in game 1 in this series, Gindel there in the first game of tonight's doubleheader, and then Ross has altered plans for game 2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Rosa with a pop fly to shallow center. Allemond fades back. He's there to make the catch. Silva can't go anywhere. and that's a big out for Augie. One down, David Harris will step in. Harris with a walk. He scored a run back in the second inning. And again, it was so close in that bottom of the second inning with McAdams swinging and missing to strike out on a full count pitch. Harris had taken a little extra lead, shall we say, off first base. De La Rosa threw behind him, and the Barnstormers almost got that out to get out of the inning. And after that, 2 runs scored, swinging a foul tip. 1 strike on Harris. Silva at second base with 1 man gone. We're in the bottom of the third inning in game 1 of our doubleheader here tonight. Game 2 will come up about a half an hour after this one is completed. The next pitch, foul ball back my way, and a second strike on Harris. It's 0-2. Crosby, the first baseman, will come to the plate. We'll face James Harris of York in the not-too-distant future. In fact, on our upcoming homestand. And they play pretty much the same role. The difference is that James Harris, a little more of a speed guy. David Harris is mostly a power hitter. Outside, they play the same position. They both bat right-handed. David Harris here, James Harris at York. Runner at second base, Silva with 1 man out. Harris batting 1-2 against Silk. The pitch chopped to shortstop. This will advance the runner to third. Hoover comes up firing and guns down Harris 6-3. Silva advancing to third. He's there with 2 outs, and it brings on the left-handed batting Alex Crosby. Well, this would be a great escape for Silk if he can pull it off after the leadoff double. He will manage to keep the Barnstormers within 1. It's the same escape that Severio pulled off in the top of the inning. He had Schumpert at second base with nobody out, and the Barnstormers didn't even get him as far as third. Crosby will step in. He flied out harmlessly to Clark back in the second inning. 5 hits to 1. Southern Maryland with the 1-run lead here in the third inning. Third baseman Schumpert well off the line against the left-handed batting Crosby. It is inside for a ball, 1-0. So the man who is maternally a Crosby, Augie Silk, facing Alex Crosby. 1 ball and no strikes here. Alex Crosby swings and misses. Silk squares the count on his breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Silva, the runner at third, with 2 outs in the lower half of the third inning. Augie trying to keep the deficit at 1. You're generally not going to see a high-scoring game in the first game of a doubleheader here at Regency Furniture Stadium. At least they've been rare over the years. Called strike, and Silk is ahead at 1-2, especially on sunny evenings, and there is not a cloud to be found in the wake of Hurricane Ida, which blew through here yesterday. Again, there's some power loss down in this part of the county. We were fine in the town of Waldorf at our hotel. On the left side, and that is mishandled by Schumpert, and the run will score. A sharp one-hopper to Nick's backhand, and it looked like he was going to make the play, and all of a sudden he seemed to, you can't say he got blinded by it, but all of a sudden the ball just wasn't quite where he expected it to be. So Silva is home, and it is 3-1. It was a sharp ground ball, but just to Shumpert's backhand. It's a 2-run deficit now, once again, facing the Lancaster Barnstormers. And we'll see what kind of a ruling comes up on that play. That is really a tweener, and they're calling it a single. That was a tough play. It looked like it took a bit of a tricky bounce on Nick. So ball is up, 1-0 on McAdams in what is now a 3-1 ball game. McAdams went down swinging back in the second inning, the only strikeout for Silk so far. Breaking ball to the inside corner. But once again, a play just not quite made, and the Barnstormers pay a price as a result. 6 hits now for Southern Maryland with the 3-1 lead. Crosby, the base runner, to McAdams. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Lancaster will have Dugan, Clark, and Robinson up in the 4th inning. against Severio, who's been reasonably economical with his pitches so far. So you really can't be looking, especially at this seven-inning game, at that transitional phase. And the pitch, McAdams swings and he misses. So he is gone on strikes for the second time in the game. However, a run is on the board on 2 hits with no errors, and there was 1 man left on base. Crosby with the RBI single, and through 3 innings here at Regency Furniture Stadium, it is Southern Maryland 3 and the Barnstormers 1.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
This is the sound of someone getting the most out of a summer day. So is this. Because for some, summer days were made for adventure. At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll find great deals on our entire line of leading-edge hybrids, each with the power and range to help you get the most out of your summer. But hurry, the sale ends September 7th. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base for Southern Maryland. The Barnstormers with 1 run on 1 hit with 1 error, and the Barnstormers have stranded 2. Kelly Dugan, Ladarius Clark, and Trayvon Robinson to face Misael Severio as we head to the top half of the 4th inning in Game 1 of our twin bill here tonight. Barnstormers back home Tuesday. York will be in for 3, and then the Long Island Ducks show up for 3. Next weekend, we get very used to our divisional foes. We have only 6 games left against the South, all of those against the High Point Rockers. Right now, we are the only action underway in the Atlantic League for this Thursday night. Everybody is, I can see it, good to go for Atlantic League play here this evening. Long Island is at York for a single game. West Virginia at Lexington. Gastonia at High Point. The one ballpark that won't be ready to play for a while, I don't know if you saw this or not. I've been shown it by 5 or 6 different people today. The ballpark in Somerset, TD Bank Ballpark, is underwater. Weston Canal flooded. Pitch is inside, and Kelly Dugan is on base, but this won't extend his hitting streak. He gets hit by the first offering from Severio here in the 4th inning. So Dugan is on base. His streak will continue on that front. That'll bring on Ladarius Clark. Clark went down looking at strike 3 back in the 2nd inning. Barnstormers with a man on. They have their 4th base runner of the game. 2 walks, a hit batter to go along with the Schumpert double to the gap in left center field. Clark stands in as the Barnstormers try to build an uprising here in the 4th inning. Infield sets double play depth against Ladarius. Severio sets, and he'll bring it home. Breaking ball is cut on and missed. Clark down a strike. It is 0-1. Robinson on deck, and then De La Rosa. Lancaster down 2 here in the 4th. They're about, looked like about 3 feet of standing water as Clark fouls it off on the field at TD Bank Park. So the Patriots will probably have to go on the road for a while, and who knows the status of the clubhouses, because they are all at field level as they would be in Lancaster. There is a canal that is not right up against the stadium. The railroad bed is in between. That's why it's really surprising that the field itself flooded, but New Jersey got hit terribly by Ida. 0-2 pitch, bouncing ball pulled foul. Ross Peoples will try to handle it, and he bobbled. Tough to make that play barehanded. 2 strikes, the continuing count on Ladarius Clark, but the situation in Somerset is not good. If you, of course, followed the Harrisburg Senators over the years, you know that's happened to their stadium on City Island a couple of times. Off-speed pitch, high and wide to Clark. Ball 1 and 2 strikes here. So the Somerset Patriots schedule may have to be altered for at least a couple of weeks until they get all the damage taken care of. It's the field's probably the least of the concerns. To Clark, just outside. It looked like Thomas wanted to call that a strike. He flinched. The electronics did not give that to Severio, and Clark will bat at 2 balls and 2 strikes, still alive here in the 4th inning with Dugan, the runner at first, and nobody out. 3-1. Southern Maryland leading to Clark. 2-2 pitch is hit to right center field and hit well. Nobody's going to get to that one on the fly, and the walls will not contain it. Ladarius Clark, with new life after a pitch was called barely outside, slugs a 2-run homer to Clarkville, known as right center field, and the ball game is tied at 3 on the 11th home run of the season for Clark, whose RBI totals compared to his at-bats are incredible. So it's 3-3 on Ladarius' 11th home run of the season, 46 runs batted in 159 at-bats. Harris and Collier started back after that one. It is tough to go oppo as a right-handed batter here at Southern Maryland, but we figured if anybody could do it, it would be Clark, and he has done just that. Robinson starts the inning all over again. Trayvon struck out on 3 pitches first time up. He now fouls a bunt attempt and is down strike 1. De La Rosa and Hoover will step in to follow. Clark's home run has tied the score here in the top half of the 4th inning. Dugan hit by a pitch, and Clark goes to the opposite field. That is a poke here at Southern Maryland. To Robinson, 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, the high fastball, and Trayvon is down 2 strikes. Well, the Barnstormers looking to get this game, if they can, to the back end of their bullpen, which has been incredible over the past few weeks, whether you consider that Goodson, Moya, Schumann, maybe as we saw the other night, Eads, Moya, and Schumann. It has been fabulous. Here is the windup, and to Robinson, 0-2. He lays off and gets ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Barnstormers left fielder. Looks like Trayvon may be having some difficulty with the glare tonight. Definitely he was blinded. Left field is ultimately the really tough sun field here anyway. And that drive by Silva to start off the bottom half of the 3rd inning, it appeared he was going to catch up to that because he was playing so far back. Grounded to 3rd. McAdams able to handle this one. He floats the throw across. Robinson cut down 5-3. And with 1 out, here is De La Rosa, who grounded out back in the 2nd inning. Now, the Barnstormers may very well have the best back end of the bullpen in the Atlantic League and still up among the top teams in the league in scoring runs, if not in team batting average, because they have fallen quite noticeably down the ranks in that category. Not that the team average has tumbled all that much. Everybody else has caught up and passed the Barnstormers, or a lot of clubs have. But in terms of runs scored per game, the Barnstormers still right in there. Here's the offering to De La Rosa. That is high for a ball, 1-0. Though not leading by as much since that absolutely silly Lexington-Gastonia series over the weekend in which the 2 teams combined in 3 games to score 94 runs. Outside, and De La Rosa gains an advantage. Jake Hoover, the shortstop, due next. Clark with the 2-run homer to knot the score. Just the 2nd Barnstormers hit of the game. The other one a double by Schumpert. That was pulled to the gap in left center. And to De La Rosa, ball 3 is high. Well, Lancaster has fought back to tie on the long ball. Clark with just crazy power to right center field. Here is the delivery, And De La Rosa takes the strike on the inside corner. He thought he might have the base on balls, but no. The Barnstormers trying to reload in this fourth inning following the 2-run long ball. Here is the pitch. De La Rosa pops a foul out of play. 3-2 on the Barnstormers receiver. He'll catch game one. Anthony Peroni will work with Dominic DeSabatino in game 2 tonight. They've become a pair. Peroni is the preferred catcher for DeSabatino. It's worked out very well for the two of them. De La Rosa catching Silk here in game 1. And that partnership works out well. 3-3 ball game, 3-2 count, and to De La Rosa, ball 4 is low. The Barnstormers get another runner. That is the third free pass given up by Severio. Jake Hoover now will come to the plate. Hoover walked and scored on the Shumpert double. In between was the controversial throwing error. The ball had rolled down the right field line and went behind the tarp on the bad pickoff from DeLuca. Anderson De La Rosa now at first base. Jake Hoover steps in. The bunt is certainly possible here. McAdams is a step or two behind the bag over at third. Crosby holds De La Rosa at first. Here's the motion, and Hoover does square around. He drops the bunt down. Charging the play is McAdams. He'll get off a throw, and it's not in time. Hoover safe at first on a bunt base hit, and Shumpert will step in with runners at first and second and one out. McAdams played it as well as humanly possible from where he started. The bunt perhaps pushed a little bit too hard by Hoover to make it a close play, but Jake has the great speed. He beats this out. The Barnstormers have 2 on, 1 out. Shumpert stepping in. He doubled his first time up to the gap in left center field. De La Rosa is on its second. Hoover aboard with the bunt base hit. Lancaster and Southern Maryland embroiled in a 3-3 tie. The Barnstormers trying to take their first lead of the game. Breaking ball misses to Shumpert. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Caleb Gindel, a designated hitter, on deck for the Barnstormers as they look to break on top here in the top half of the fourth inning. Severio will work out of the stretch. He looks back to De La Rosa and to Shumpert. This breaking ball finds its way, a called strike, and it's now 1-1 in this fourth inning. RBI double by Shumpert, a home run by Clark this inning. And now the third hit is a Jake Hoover bunt. Here is the motion, and Shumpert checks on the fastball. It is high, and Nick works ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike against Severio. 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for Severio. 3 runs against him. Here comes the 2-1. Shumpert swings away and fouls this off to go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the right on left battle, the Barnstormers' left-handed batters, who usually succeed against left-handed pitching, are 0 for 5 collectively against Severio. Dugan hit by a pitch to start this inning, however, and he was on in front of the home run. 2-2, Shumpert checks on the swing. The pitch is in the dirt, so Shumpert is struck out automatically, and the runners go to second and third, or did they call that the third strike? They say he didn't go around on it. Wow. So he's alive at 3-2, and the wild pitch sends De La Rosa to third and Hoover to second. He was ruled to have checked on that swing. The infield now will draw in. Shumpert bats at 3-2 and just looks to get a ball past these infielders. McAdams, Baca, Silva, and Crosby all pull up. De La Rosa's at third, so he's not likely to be sent home until a ball would clear the infielders. We're not looking at somebody like Shumpert or Hoover or Clark over there. De La Rosa leads from third, Hoover off second, and now to Shumpert, the breaking ball. This is strike 3. Another called third strike. That is 2 of those for Severio in the game. So now it's up to Gindel to get these extra runners across. Caleb is grounded out and struck out so far in the ball game tonight. The 2-run homer came with the man at first base. Barnstormers 1 for 7 now with runners in scoring position in the current contest. Gindel will try to improve upon that. He's got De La Rosa at third, Hoover at second. He's facing Severio for the third time, and the pitch is cut on and missed. Gindel has really been handled so far by the lefty. He struck out swinging in the third inning, and it didn't take all that long. He grounded out on the first pitch back in inning one. The 0-1, Gindel swings, and he hits a fly ball to right center field. It is fairly deep, but Harris has room on the track. He will make the catch, and unfortunately, that comes with 2 outs. It would have easily scored a run had it come with 1. The Gindel flies out to deep right. It closes the inning for the Barnstormers. 2 runs on 2 hits with no errors in the inning, and they leave 2 runners out on the bases. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Lancaster and Southern Maryland are tied at 3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 15 all the way through August 28. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Clinics tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster.
Well, the ball does seem to be traveling to right field here tonight, which aids the Barnstormers. Gindel got under his a little too much, and he flied out, caught on the warning track by Harris. Clark able to clear the fences in right center field, something you just don't see a right-handed batter do very often. The only other Barnstormer I can ever remember as a right-handed batter homering in that direction here was a guy you might be remembering by the name of Ryan Harvey back in 2012, 2013. He had a game here where he had a grand slam to right center field and then cleared the player parking lot, I am told. Maybe that's just urban legend, but cleared the player parking lot in straightaway left field. To do that, you have to hit the ball over the picnic deck, over the little gap in between, over the clubhouse, over the driveway, over the cars, and onto the hillside beyond that, which is an incredible shot. That has to be a good 460, 470. Now to Zach Collier as Augie Silk starts the bottom of the 4th inning. It is up and away, 1-0. Collier with an RBI single back in the 2nd. Barnstormers are still down in the hits category, 6-3, but with the home run, we are even at 3 each. And to Collier, a swing and a foul ball back into the net. We go to even at 1 ball, 1 strike. You probably saw the news yesterday that Hagerstown is officially been awarded a franchise for the 2023 season, Staten Island for 2022, and everybody's wondering about, will there be a Road Warriors team next year? Well, the league's trying to avoid it. And I will tell you, called second strike 1 and 2. We've been told that it won't happen, that there will be markets 11 and 12 coming. It's just the announcements have been staggered. We'd heard all along Staten Island for 22, Hagerstown for 23. I'm excited about going back to Hagerstown, by the way. Popped up on the third base side. Calling for it is Shumpert. He'll make the catch. Collier's retired, 1 out. And DeLuca will step in. When I first started with the opening day partners, the group that started the Barnstormers, it was in Hagerstown, Maryland. That was the initial franchise for that ownership group is Hugh Schindel and a couple of partners. The late Hugh Schindel, he passed away during the last year or so. But Hugh and a couple of other local businessmen in Hagerstown rescued the Suns franchise from owners that, shall we say, were less than honest, I guess you could say. That at least they didn't fit very well in the Hagerstown community. There were some businesses in the community that took umbrage to the way things were run. Let's put it that way. A called strike at the knees, 0-1, because I don't want to besmirch anybody's character. But anyway, they wanted the ball club. They didn't necessarily want the ownership. And Hugh Schindel and his partners bought out the Hagerstown Suns, kept the front office staff. They weren't the issue. Keith Lupton was part of that staff. And then they branched out first to Frederick and then moved Hagerstown's AA team to Bowie, and then built the ballpark in Salisbury for the Delmarva Shorebirds. Then they got out of that, started the Lancaster and York and Southern Maryland and Sugar Land. And I've been with them since 1991, but the first stop was, in fact, in Hagerstown with the Eastern League Ball Club. So I'm excited to go back. Glad they're going to have a new stadium. They needed it. They've needed it for a long time in that community. And I have a feeling that with the new ballpark, they're going to be very successful there, because you put it anywhere near Interstate 81. You don't just draw from Hagerstown, but you've got Winchester and Martinsburg just down Interstate 81 to the south. You've got Chambersburg just to the north. Swung on and missed. Down goes DeLuca. Third strikeout for Augie Silk in the game. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth in this 3-3 tie. Shortstop Michael Baca will come in. Just like Staten Island can do well if you've got the right connection with the folks there. It's going to be interesting to see how well independent league baseball plays out in New York City in the shadow of course, Yankee Stadium and Citi Field, and you don't have that MLB connection directly to a particular team. Ground ball, second base, easy play for Allemond. Baca's retired. It's 1-2-3 for Augie Silk in the bottom of the fourth inning. The tie is maintained at the end of 4. It is Lancaster 3 and Southern Maryland 3.
You can enjoy a night at the ballpark and help out the United Way of Lancaster County. All you have to do is spend 3 hours as an usher during a Barnstormers home game, and the ball club will donate $20 in your name to the United Way program of your choice. Be a friendly face, have fun, and raise money for your favorite local charity. To sign up, go to the LancasterBarnstormers.com website and head to the community link, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
This is the sound of someone looking out for the safety of a loved one.
Come here, honey. Let's get you buckled up.
And this is the sound of a Lexus looking out for someone else on the road. At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll find great deals on our full line of vehicles, each with our advanced standard safety technology. But hurry, the sale ends September 7th. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection is not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices. See owner's manual for additional limitations and details.
They drag the infield here as we get ready for the 5th inning, and Blake Allemond, Alejandro De Aza, and Kelly Dugan to step in against Misael Severio, a Cuban native who began to play baseball at what you would at least translate to being at a professional level at the age of 18 in his native land. Came through Mexico and ended up with the Seattle Mariners in 2015 at AA in Jackson, Tennessee. Been in the Mexican League since. This was the first time in the Atlantic League. And he's found a home here in Southern Maryland. Blake Allemond leads off here in the 5th inning. He's walked and popped the second against Severio in the game. Left-hander into the wind, and Allemond, the fastball just missing outside, ball 1. Talked about this the other night. I've watched games here for 13 seasons, and that outside corner just does not seem to be there as it always has been. To Alleman, spanked foul past third. Blake couldn't keep that one inside the bag. It would have been an easy double if he had. A ball and a strike on the switch batting second baseman, who has been back from the right side of the plate over the last couple of weeks or so after batting 21 times left on left because of a back injury that had him shelved for a week and a half or so back in the early stages of July. 1 ball, 1 strike. Severio into the motion, and Alleman yanks a foul ball, a deep fly ball, but at a very crooked angle out past the Legends Club down the third base line, past the light tower, and rattling around out beyond. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alleman. De Aza, Dugan will follow 3-all in the 5th inning of play. Blake fooled by a changeup. He swings and he misses. Severio chalking up another strikeout. That is his 5th. And with 1 down, De Aza will come to the plate. Alejandro has twice popped up to the third baseman, McAdams. And the only difference between the two was which side of the foul stripe they were on. One was just outside and one was just inside, but he's 0 for 2. They were at about the same depth, maybe 60 feet or so away from the plate. Dugan waiting on deck. Severio goes to work on De Aza. The Barnstormers lefty hitters still dry for this game, with the exception of Dugan being hit by a pitch. That is high and outside Alejandro. Ball 1-0. The success has come from the right side of the plate. There hasn't really been a lot of success. Only 3 hits off the lefty. 1 ball, no strikes on De Aza. The kick, the pitch. Alejandro with a foul ball into the net. And the count levels up at 1 ball and 1 strike here in the top of the 5th inning. Dugan to follow. There's no guarantee that Kelly will have another turn at the plate after the one here in the 5th inning. Looks like action is going to start in the bullpen for Southern Maryland. Here is the delivery to De Aza. That is high and tight, so the count swings into Alejandro's favor. Andres Burseno, who has been an outstanding right-handed setup reliever, begins to toss down in the bullpen for the Blue Crabs, or Blue Cheese as they are tonight. To De Aza, swing, and he pulls a ball deep down the right field line, headed for the corner. That is way back, and that is gone. A home run for Alejandro De Aza, yanking it out down the right field line. And the Barnstormers swing ahead on the long ball. It is now 4-3 Lancaster. De Aza, a line drive home run, pulled down the right field stripe where the wall curls in to about 325 feet from the plate. And Alejandro with the line drive home run. The Barnstormers finally get something from the left side of the plate in this game. They're up 4-3 on their second home run. Now here is Kelly Dugan, and he takes a breaking ball low. 1 ball and no strikes. The Barnstormers with 2 home runs to right field. You don't see many of them here at Southern Maryland. It plays like left field in Lancaster. Hard hit ground ball by Dugan, and that skips over the glove of Baca and into center field. That should extend the hitting streak to 16, but we'll have to get a ruling to be absolutely certain. Baca was cheating toward the middle. That ball jumped up on him and shot past into the outfield. It'll bring on Ladarius Clark with the runner at first base in Dugan and 1 out here in the 5th inning. Barnstormers ahead 4-3, and the catcher DeLuca is going to go out to talk to Severio, and this will be charged, I do believe, as a timeout. The umpire not in tow. Misael Severio has given up a home run in each of the last 2 innings. Clark's with a man aboard. De Aza's a solo shot. Lancaster moves ahead here in the top half of the 5th inning. Ladarius has struck out looking and then hit the home run to right center field. It is a base hit for Dugan, so the streak is alive at 16, and now Here comes Stan Clyburn. The catcher can go to the mound. That's technically not a visit. It is a timeout. And he was just giving Burseno a little bit more time to warm up. Now Clyburn comes out, and that is going to be all for Misael Severio with the string of right-handed batters coming up. Severio lasts 4 1/3 innings tonight, and he will depart trailing in the ball game. The Barnstormers ahead now by 1. Burseno will be coming in, and we'll take a break. Back with more baseball.
Hey, $2 bill here, aka the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with quick cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at $150 grand. Plus quick cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings, a delicious sub made the way you love, fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals all in one delivery.
Andrés Burseno, we bragged a little bit earlier, and I will continue to do so, about the back end of the Barnstormers bullpen with Gabriel Moya and Scott Schumann, who in the month of August were both almost invincible. But Burseno and Matt Latos make up a pretty good 8-9 combination for Southern Maryland. Little surprised to see Burseno come in this situation, with it just being the 5th inning of a 7-inning game, but that's how badly Stan wants to shut the door here. Tall and slender right-hander is Burseno. He's listed 6'5", 175. I would imagine that there are a few extra pounds since the 175 signing weight. He is from Maracay, Venezuela, same hometown as the new Barnstormers reliever, Alexis Rivero, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Rivero at some time tonight. And they are from the town of Maracay in Venezuela. Ladarius Clark is scheduled to face Burseno, who has just been terrific. He is 2-3. That doesn't sound all that impressive. He has 2 saves to 8 holds. His ERA is 1.60. You gauge a reliever on holds and on the number of base runners allowed. 26 hits in 39 1/3 innings. He has walked 16, and Burseno has struck out 44 on the year. With the Barnstormers bringing up a chain of right-handed batters, except for Robinson, of course, the switch hitter, Burseno has taken over with Dugan, the runner, at first base. His hitting streak is safe at 16. He'll take that into the second game of tonight's doubleheader. Clark, the batter, is gone down looking at a third strike and then slugged the 2-run homer to right center field his last time up to tie up the ball game. Dugan leads off first. The pitch to Clark is fouled off. That was against a Burseno fastball. It is 0-1. Lancaster 4, Southern Maryland 3, top half of the 5th inning in the opener of our doubleheader tonight. These two ball clubs neck and neck, and there's nothing that says they're not going to battle right down to the October 10th wire here in the second half. Here's the pitch to Clark. That is smashed into center field for a base hit. Clark with his second knock of the night. On to second goes Dugan. Trayvon Robinson will turn around from the left side of the plate. First and second for the Barnstormers as Robinson steps in. Anderson De La Rosa waits on deck. A stinging single into center for Clark. This series has produced 4 hits for him, a double, a home run, and 4 more runs batted in. 46 ribbies in 160 at-bats. I still can't believe the pace that Ladarius is on. It would be in a 500 at-bat season, over 140 runs batted in. And now Robinson drives the ball out to right field. Hustling back on this is Harris. It's over his head and bouncing up onto the hillside. It will be a ground rule double. Clark is coming all the way around, but he will be sent back. The plate umpire, Thomas, tells him to put on the brakes. Whoa, buddy, you're going back to third. That ball jumped out of the yard. But an RBI double for Robinson has made it 5-3 now. Dugan is home, Clark to third, and Anderson De La Rosa will step to the plate. It'll close the books on Severio, who ends up allowing 5 runs in 4 1/3 innings. The Barnstormers with 5 hits against him. He struck out 5, walked 3, and hit a batter. Second and third with just 1 out in the inning as De La Rosa steps in. Anderson has grounded to second and drawn a walk here tonight. The Barnstormers will again face a drawn-in infield. The Barnstormers up by a pair here in the top of the 5th inning. A base hit by De La Rosa would really extend the lead. Clark off third, Robinson off second, so you've got good speed. And the pitch to De La Rosa bounces. It's knocked down by the chest protector of Joe DeLuca. Ball 1 and no strikes. We talk about pitchers and slots. Well, Burseno, generally an 8th inning guy, or translate that to 6th. But you bring him in earlier than that, and they contend not to be as effective. He's given up 2 solid base hits, single by Clark, double by Robinson. Now De La Rosa chops a foul at the plate. And the count to Anderson goes even at a ball and a strike. Shortstop Jake Hoover waits on deck. Barnstormers lead by 2 here in the top of the 5th. Lancaster has scored 3 innings in a row. The Shadows have covered the entire infield except for a wedge just behind where Trayvon Robinson stands near the shortstop position. 1 ball, 1 strike to De La Rosa. Burseno to the plate. The fastball is a little up, and Anderson checked on the swing. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Lancaster unable to get a ball through the drawn-in infield last inning. But De La Rosa has the chance here. Clark up the line from third. He's likely to come on contact. The 2-1. A wild swing and a miss by De La Rosa. Again, DeLuca with the stop and no chance for Ladarius Clark to score. 2-2 on De La Rosa. The Barnstormers ahead by 2. Trejo, Silva, and Rosa at the top of the order, scheduled in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the 5th will probably be it for Silk. You can then go to Moya and Schumann if it's 5-3. If the Barnstormers continue to score here, that plan could change. De La Rosa bats 2-2. The pitch is lined but foul down into the Southern Maryland bullpen bench. Sharp contact there for De La Rosa. So sharp that he actually broke his bat off of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the continuing count on the Barnstormers catcher. Hoover on deck. A base hit. The Barnstormers will try to score the second run anyway, unless it's right at Trejo and left. De La Rosa, you're looking at even a fly ball here. Clark will be turned loose if it's at any depth whatsoever. Anderson has a new bat. He returns to the batter's box to face another 2 ball and 2 strike count. 2 runs across in this 5th inning. Deaza with the solo home run. Dugan followed with a single. Clark has singled. Robinson has doubled. De La Rosa batting at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here is the pitch from Burseno. Line drive, and that is foul down the right field side. So De La Rosa has missed both sides now with a liner. This one a little bit softer seemingly than the last, and it was also a little bit closer. Dropped about 6-8 feet outside the stripe down the right field line. Continuing at 2-2 against Endres Burseno. A couple times now, De La Rosa has made decent contact, certainly enough contact to drive in a couple of runs, but both have been foul. Again, it is 2-2. Burseno ready to go. Here's the pitch, and De La Rosa drives it out to left field. That is down for a base hit. Scoring is Clark. Robinson is coming, and the throw to the plate will have him cut down. Onto second goes De La Rosa. Cesar Trejo had the ball just as Trayvon was making the turn at third. De La Rosa advances to second on the throw home. Clark is home at 6-3. Robinson out at the plate 7-2. De La Rosa has the Barnstormers' 5th straight base hit in this inning. Jake Hoover will come to the plate with De La Rosa at second and 2 outs. Lancaster leading by 3. 6-3 our score. The Barnstormers' bats coming to life. Pretty much started the second time through the lineup against Severio, definitely into the third. And now Burseno has allowed 3 straight base hits. Hoover will try to make it a 4th. The Barnstormers probably should have held Robinson there as Trejo had it on 1 hop. Inside to Jake, it is ball 1, no strikes. Lancaster, after not having a base hit the first couple of innings, now has 8 for the ball game. 2 outs here in the 5th. De La Rosa leads from second base, and a Hoover, breaking ball, a check swing, and again it misses. Southern Maryland requests help and doesn't get any from Nick Mull over at first. Hoover batting 2-0. Schumpert waits on deck. Lancaster with the bats booming here in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Hoover ground ball on the right side, and that will bleed through for a base hit. Charging it is Harris. De La Rosa's coming. Here's the throw. This one not in time. Hoover with the Barnstormers' 6th straight hit makes it 7-3 Lancaster. Hoover stays at first base even with the throw home. Nick Schumpert is the scheduled hitter. The Barnstormers with 4 consecutive hits off Burseno since coming in. And Nick Schumpert has a double and a strikeout in the game. Hoover could think about running here. 2 outs with the man at first base. Schumpert stands in, and he will take a fastball upstairs. Ball 1-0 from Burseno. Lancaster now up by 4. What a spree here in the 5th inning. Burseno to the plate. Schumpert taps a foul. Hoover was on the move. It's now a ball and a strike. The second out of the inning coming on a play at the plate. Otherwise, the Barnstormers would have just 1 out, still have 4 runs home, and a couple of men on base. Throw goes to first base. Jake back in, standing up. Oh, he's got some wheels. And also 2 hits in this game. He's trying to shake out of a slump that had reduced his average to some depths. Here's the pitch to Schumpert. Fastball challenges him. He swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Burseno now close to being out of the inning. But the Barnstormers have posted a 4 spot here in the top half of number 5. Burseno ready to go, and a Schumpert 1-2. That breaks outside and low. Another stop made by DeLuca. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Barnstormer third baseman, Caleb Gindel. Hitless so far tonight, waits on deck. You know, he made really good contact against Severio the 3rd time he faced him. And De Aza straightened it out. Fastball, that one's there, strike 3 called. Schumpert goes down looking to end the inning. But for the Barnstormers, a 6-hit salvo producing 4 runs. There were no errors in the inning. 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the 5th with the Barnstormers now on top by the score of 7-3.
Bummer, the Barnstormers are on the road and you're looking for something to do. Clipper Magazine Stadium still has the answer for family fun. The summer movie series returns, presented by Lidl Supermarkets on selected nights throughout the summer season. Bring the kids out to the ballpark for family-friendly movies. For just $6.50 per person, you get to sit on the outfield grass and enjoy a film on the big screen in left center field. Showtime is 7 p.m. For more information and movie listings, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the events page.
72 years and 4 generations and still going strong. We are Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg. and we want to be your appliance store now and into the future. We sell all the best brand names of appliances at the very best prices. We also deliver, install, and service what we sell. Shop local and with your 4th-generation hometown appliance store. Come to Gockenauer Appliances and see what a great appliance purchase experience is all about. You can even shop from home now at Gockenauers.com. Thanks for your support.
Augie Silk has the opportunity to square his record at 4-4. He's been staked to a 4-run lead going to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and I would imagine that this might be it for Augie tonight. You don't know. He's retired the last 4, 6 out of the last 7, and it could be 7 in a row, except a little bit of a weird hop on the Crosby smash to Shumpert, and Nick was unable to field it cleanly. Left-hander warming up in the bullpen for Southern Maryland will be Carlos Diaz because they don't have any others. Silk facing the top of the order. Cesar Trejo will be followed by Ruby Silva and Jovan Rosa here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Trejo will lead it off. He is 1 out of 2. First pitch, good for a called strike on Trejo. It's 0-1. Here's the wind. Next offering, Tapper foul outside of home plate. It's 0-2. So Trejo Silva, and technically the pitcher's spot is due at the plate here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Augie Silk focusing in on the signals. Trejo is singled and he's grounded out tonight. The 0-2 is pulled foul in behind Ortega, the third base coaching spot box, and rattling around down on the bullpen bench. So I understand our friend is back in the chat, so we'll try to get that taken care of. Got to put the technical folks onto that. Leadoff batter here, bottom half of the 5th inning. Silk will deliver. That is cut on and missed. Augie has retired 5 in a row now, 3 of those on strikes. He is a guy who has struck out his fair share this year. That's 65 in 69 innings for the Barnstormers lefty starter. He has kept the walks down tonight. I shouldn't, hopefully I'm not speaking too soon. He walked Harris back in the 2nd. That's been it. Ruby Silva steps in. He's reached on a fielder's choice and then doubled past Trayvon Robinson and left the last time up. Silk to the plate, and he is high. It is ball 1. 1 out, nobody on, lower half of the 5th inning. The Barnstormers certainly want Silk to get through the 5th to get Gendel up in the 6th inning. Now ball 2 is up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. See, I've done it again. Talked about his control tonight, and he's reined it in, and the next 2 pitches are well out of the zone. 2 balls and nothing to Silva. That is looped foul over on the third base side and getting into the seats and bouncing up around the concourse, in fact. 2-1 to the second baseman, Silva. He's been the toughest bat in this series for Southern Maryland against the Barnstormers. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That is too close, and Silva bats at 3 balls and a strike. Lancaster 7, Southern Maryland 3 with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. First game of our doubleheader here tonight. 3-1 due to Silva. Silk to the plate, and he misses, putting a 1-out runner on here in the 5th inning. Boy, I am just as good as gold with that, am I not? Second walk he's allowed, and now we are going to have Matt Hibbert stepping in to bat in the pitcher's spot. Rosa leaving with Severio. 1 out, 1 on as Hibbert strides into the batter's box. Doesn't look like any double switches are in the offing yet as Hibbert steps in. He is, for the season, batting .299 with a couple of home runs, 10 runs driven. He played left field here on Tuesday and went 0 for 3. Here is the pitch, and it is high and outside. A ball on Hibbert, 1-0. Now, Ross has to contemplate getting somebody warming up in the bullpen, and there, in fact, is action down there. 1 ball and no strikes to Hibbert. Silk's next offering is fouled over the screen and out of play. 1-1 on the pinch hitter. Hibbert, an outfielder by trade. David Harris, the right fielder, waits on deck. The Barnstormers could make some outfield switches with the DH role if need be here. Second strike, breaks to the inside corner. Silk is ahead of Hibbert at 1-2. 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the 5th inning, as the Barnstormers and Augie Silk trying to retain the 4-run advantage. They'll have the left-hander Diaz coming in the 6th inning the way it appears, with Gindel, Alleman, and Diaz's scheduled. Here's the pitch. Fastball off the inside corner. Hibbert now bats at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Silk has given up 6 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 4. Thrown 1 wild pitch here tonight. Matt Hibbert batting with an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Silva with his team trailing by 4, not likely to be running here. Augie looks toward first base. He'll work to the plate. 2-2 pitch, a soft pop-up to second. And racing over is Alleman to grab it. Hibbert is retired. 2 men down. David Harris stepping in. Harris has walked and grounded a short. He has scored one of the 3 Southern Maryland runs in the ball game here this late afternoon and into evening. Silk looking to get this 15th out for himself here tonight. And I don't know if he goes beyond that. He conceivably would if Ross wants to hold on to his entire bullpen for the second game. Harris, the cleanup hitter, digs in. Silk to the plate. He is inside. It is ball 1. Alex Crosby, the first baseman, waits on deck. He is a left-handed batter. How far will the Barnstormers stick with Silk? Certainly wanting to get him through a 5th inning, and that way Ross doesn't have to make any decisions with the DH spot. You've got Gindel leading off the 6th. You certainly want Gindel to lead off the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes here on Harris. Silk to the plate, and it's lined. Diving catch, Hoover! He's done it again, and Barnstormers and Silk are out of the inning. What a glove that guy has. A great diving catch, put a star by that one in the scorebook. It squelches on a comeback effort by Southern Maryland here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're going to the 6th. The Barnstormers are up by the score of 7-3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
What an amazing catch by Jake Hoover on a blistering line drive off the bat of David Harris, closing out the bottom half of the 5th inning. And it saves Caleb Gindel's at bat without even having to think about it, as Augie Silk gets through 5 innings and is now eligible for the win here tonight.
Gindel, Allemand, and Diaz are scheduled against Southpaw Carlos Diaz. He is the only lefty out of the bullpen for manager Stan Clyburn. Diaz came into the ball game here on Tuesday night and faced the same trio. He walked Gindel. It was actually Shumpert. Allemand was out of the game with the injury. Shumpert popped up a bunt. Diaz grounded into a double play, and then he walked Dugan leading off the ninth. That run scored after Diaz had come out of the game. So he faces the top of the order and the lefties again. The Barnstormers have seen him once now this series. Gindel will start things off. He is 0 for 3. He is grounded out, struck out, and flied out to deep right. The Diaz offering is well off the outside corner. It's ball 1 and no strikes. Lancaster leading 7-3. Diaz, the third pitcher used by Stan Clyburn here in game 1. Burseno went 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 4 hits and 2 runs, struck out 1. And Gindel now at 2 balls and no strikes as the second one misses the zone. Blake Allemand will bat right-handed once again. He's on deck. 2-0 to Gindel. And Caleb takes ball 3 down below the knees. Gindel with the opportunity to get something started for the Barnstormers in the 6th. Lancaster has scored in each of the last 3 innings, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, to take the 7-3 lead in this ball game. 3 balls, no strikes to Gindel. We'll see if he takes all the way. He doesn't. He fouls it back to the screen. Got a pitch he liked. Now it's 3-1 here on the Barnstormer DH. Augie Silk has gone all the way for the Barnstormers to this point. Getting 5 innings in. 3-1, the count to Gindel. Diaz to the plate, and Caleb with a fly ball to right center. Gliding over is Collier for the catch. That is 1 out here in the 6th inning. Blake Allemand to the plate. Allemand is 0 for 2 with a base on balls. And then Diaz, who broke the tie with the home run down the right field line back in the 5th inning. It's quite an accomplishment to hit 2 home runs to right field in this ballpark on any given night, in any given game. The Barnstormers have done it here. Most home runs here go to left and left center. To Allemand, it is low. Ball 1 and no strikes. But Ladarius Clark has as much power as you will ever see to the opposite field. He's done it, and Diaz pulled the ball down the line. 1-0 on Allemand. He lofts a fly ball to right in foul territory. Crosby gives up on that. So it's 1-1 on the second baseman, Allemand, with Diaz to follow. Crosby, McAdams, and Collier are scheduled in the bottom of the 6th. 2 of those are left-handed batters. Ross could make the change and go to Moya with the 4-run lead to try and secure this game. Now Allemand puts a charge in 1 out to left field. Trejo going back, looking up, and the walls will not contain it. Blake Allemand with his 18th home run of the season. The Barnstormers unload their 3rd of the game and lead by an 8-3 score. Allemand getting one up onto the picnic deck, the far corner of it, toward left center field. His first home run since the 24th of August. He was on a spree there where he had hit 4 in 5 games to get to 17. So Allemand has left the yard. Alejandro Diaz steps in. Diaz had popped up twice to the third baseman, McAdams, and then whistled one out of here on the line down the right field stripe back in the 5th inning. Diaz to Diaz. Ball 1 is low, a ball and no strikes. Lancaster breaking out the long ball here in game 1 of the doubleheader, surging ahead 8-3, scoring in 4 straight innings. Now the 1-0, Diaz a ground ball right side, hustling after it is Silva. He can't get to it, and Alejandro with a base hit, his 2nd of the game. The Barnstormers have opened it up against the Southern Maryland bullpen now. They are a total of 6 for 8 off the relief staff. Kelly Dugan will come to the plate. He has scored twice in the game, 1 out of 2 officially. He was also hit by a pitch. That was what ignited the 4th inning, was the HBP. And then he singled as part of the 4-run 5th. Hitting streak alive at 16. The pitch to Dugan, a strike to the outside corner of the knees. Great location from Diaz.
Ball one, or strike one here, rather, on Kelly Dugan. Deaza, the base runner, with the Barnstormers ahead by 5. Shift is on against Dugan. The pitch is fouled at the dish, and strike 2 the count on the Barnstormers' first baseman. Ladarius Clark waits on deck, and he'll get to face the lefty. Nobody else is throwing in the Southern Maryland bullpen. I don't know that Stan wants to burn up another reliever with Game 2 of the doubleheader looming. So we may see Diaz for a while. Here is the 2-strike pitch to Dugan. He goes down swinging. Oh, Kelly Dugan has fanned. That is the 6th strikeout for Southern Maryland pitching in the game. 2 are gone now, and Clark will step in. Ladarius with a 2-run homer and a solid single into center. He also has an outfield assist tonight. Oh, you can always, over the course of a week, put together a Ladarius Clark highlight reel. He's just an exciting player. He's a big play guy. 2 outs. Deaza, the runner at first, is set by Diaz. The pitch to Clark. He looks at a fastball away. It is ball 1 and no strikes. He's got the speed. He's got the arm. He's got the crazy power to the opposite field. And the contact is starting to come. The 1-0 pitch from Diaz is in the dirt. Make it 2 balls and no strikes. Trayvon Robinson on deck for the Barnstormers. Robinson has caught fire from the left side of the plate in this series. Now we'll see if the right side can come around. But there are definite signs that Trayvon is beginning to shake loose. And look out Atlantic League if he does. 2-0 to Clark. He gets ball 3 and a 3-0 count with Robinson in the on-deck circle. Deaza already at first base. 8-3 Lancaster here in the top of the 6th inning. And that certainly opens the gate for Russ to stick with Augie Silk for a 6th inning and not have to use his bullpen up at all. He's got plenty. Ball 4 is inside. Clark will take the walk. And Trayvon steps in with runners at first and second and 2 men out here in the 6th inning. Lancaster up by 5. Robinson could conceivably put this game pretty much out of sight right now. The Barnstormers will be reactivating Blake Galen for the Long Island series, which I know is great news for all of our fans. Initially, it was thought that he wouldn't be ready until the homestand, but he's good to go. Galen will be joining us tomorrow at Long Island. Foul ball back. It is 0-1 on Robinson, and then either Silk or DeSabatino will be deactivated by the Barnstormers until their next time coming around in the rotation. Robinson bats 0-1, 2 men on ahead of him with 2 outs. Diaz to the plate, and Robinson fouls this over my head. Diaz has Trayvon down on the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Clark, Deaza, and Alamand with home runs for the Barnstormers in this one. They lead by 5. Robinson batting 0-2. His swings have looked good on this at-bat. Deaza leads from second. Clark off first. Diaz to the plate, and he strikes out. Robinson is gone on strikes to end the inning, but the Barnstormers pick up an additional run on the Alamand homer with 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th here in Game 1 of our doubleheader. The score, Lancaster 8 and Southern Maryland 3.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings. A delicious sub made the way you love. Fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals, all in one delivery.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Well, the Barnstormers do opt to go to the bullpen. Gabriel Moya has come on for the bottom of the 6th inning. Despite the 5-run lead, the plan was all along to get to Moya here. Now, if he throws a scoreless inning, you certainly have the option to hold Schumann back for Game 2 of the doubleheader. You don't want to use, in this day and age, one pitcher in both ends of a twin bill. Southern Maryland tried that, by the way, back here on the 12th of June. Matt Latos got the save in Game 1 of that doubleheader and then lost Game 2, and it did not look sharp. Now, Moya will face Crosby, McAdams, and Collier. 2 of the 3 are straight left-handed batters, although Gabriel typically does better against right-handers. Lately, it hasn't mattered one way or the other. He hit a batter here on Tuesday night. He got Matt Hibbert with 2 outs in the 8th inning, and that ended a streak of 18 consecutive batters that Moya had retired. He had dazzling numbers in the month of August. He gave up only 5 hits and 2 runs in better than 14 innings of work. He struck out well over 1 per inning. Right-hander has begun to throw, by the way, in the bullpen for Southern Maryland. We can always see down there. We can't get a look at the Barnstormers bullpen except for the back of the helmet of the catcher, and that's about it. Alex Crosby ready to lead off here in the bottom of the 6th against Moya, the 6-foot southpaw from Venezuela. Gabriel is in his 2nd appearance in this series and his 38th total, 3-0 with a 1.67 ERA. He has 12 holds, not eligible for one here. The lead is too big. 37 2/3 innings, 26 hits. He has walked 10, and the former Minnesota Twin has struck out 45. Crosby singled home a run back in the 3rd inning. That, at the time, made it 3-1 in favor of Southern Maryland. Bit of a shift on against him, not a full one. First pitch from Moya is a strike to the outside corner. It's 0-1. Now, the Barnstormers, it appears, will face a right-hander in the 7th inning with De La Rosa, Hoover, and Schumpert stepping in. 8-3, Barnstormers in the lead. Moya goes to work on Crosby at 0-1. Here's the kick, the pitch. That one bends low. And the count is level at a ball in the strike. Augie Silk, a very solid start, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs in 5 innings. He walked 2, struck out 4, and he only walked the second one because I had said he had just walked a batter. So he threw 1 wild pitch in the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moya to the plate, ground ball, right side, taken by Dugan. He'll feed Moya, and they just get Crosby on the conversion. The play goes 3-1. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Josh McAdams, the 3rd baseman, will step in. McAdams, a strikeout victim, both times against Silk in the game. Moya has, when you put it all together now, retired 20 of the last 21 batters that he's faced with that one slip-up against Hibbert the other night. What a magnificent run he is on. He's just looking to get 3 quick outs here for his ball club, get them back to the plate in the top half of the 7th inning, and then you could see any number of different people for the bottom of the 7th. Can't say specifically who I would expect to come into that game. You've got just a lot of options. I certainly wouldn't go to Schumann if it's still 8-3. Save him for the second game in case you get a close one. Now, McAdams launches a fly ball left field deep. Back goes Robinson. Robinson will give up on it. The walls will not contain it, and McAdams ruins the streak of Gabriel Moya with a solo home run, his 19th of the season, and that now will make it an 8-4 ball game as yet another one sails out of the yard here tonight. Moya giving up the solo home run, but you can accept that given the circumstances in the ball game. It's the 5th home run that Moya has given up. The last one was to York's Jack Kenley back on the 5th of August, 4 weeks ago. He has also given up a home run to Stephen Cardullo, L.J. Mazzilli with a grand slam, and Johnny Turbo. Collier steps in now. He is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. 8-4 our score. Moya to the plate. Collier fouls it back for a strike. It is 0-1. Now, should Southern Maryland pick up another run here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, then you get Schumann ready. It would be a save opportunity. At 8-4, Ross still might. Too many bad things have happened this year. 1 strike to Collier. The fastball is up. The count levels at 1 each. Joe DeLuca, the switch-hitting catcher, waits on deck. The right-hander loosening up in the bullpen for the Blue Crabs is a side armor. Well, that will be an interesting test to the trio of right-handed batters do. Moya is high, and Collier bats at 2 balls and a strike. 1 out, bottom of the 6th, with the score now 8-4. I think it's Cody Strayer who's got that type of windup, but I didn't catch the number when he was heading down there, but I think that's who that is. 2 balls, 1 strike to Collier. DeLuca on deck, Baca after that. The pitch to Collier is inside, and Moya is just not as sharp here as we have seen him throughout the entire month of August. Our nominee for Atlantic League Pitcher of the Month. First appearance in September, not going quite as well. Zach Collier batting 3 balls and a strike with 1 out and a run home. Bases currently empty. Moya to the plate, swing and a miss. Collier will bat at 3-2. The catcher DeLuca waiting on deck. Josh McAdams with his 19th home run of the season. We just saw Blake Allemond with number 18. And by the time this year is all over, even with the shorter season, there will be at least 10 Atlantic Leaguers, I would figure, that will clear 20. Probably even more than that. Big pitch here to Collier, 3-2. It is inside. He gets a walk, and Southern Maryland makes some noise here in the bottom of the 6th inning. DeLuca will step in. He is single to left and struck out so far. Runner heads to first base, still just 1 out in the inning. Southern Maryland now down by 4. DeLuca, who has power from both sides of the plate, will just try to add to the inning. He doesn't necessarily need the home run here. Moya looking for outs. He got Crosby easily. McAdams reached him for the home run to left center field, just over the corner of the shorter outfield height in the left center field alley, where it drops off from the picnic deck just like it does at right center field in Lancaster. Collier with the walk. DeLuca stands in. Moya glances over to first base. He'll come to the plate. Swing and a miss. DeLuca trailing by a strike here in the 6th inning. The Barnstormers have left 7 runners on base in this game, 4 for Southern Maryland, 8 for Lancaster on top. Moya to the plate. He is outside to DeLuca. The count levels at 1 each. Gabriel Moya just out of kilter at the moment, trying to rein it in enough to pick up the 2 required outs to get through this inning, hopefully protecting the rest of this lead at 8-4. Collier leads from first. DeLuca bats at a ball and a strike. Moya to the plate. That is swung on and missed. Moya barges ahead at 1 ball and 2 strikes. He came up with the fastball there. That is a very effective pitch for Gabriel. We've talked about that all year because he throws so many off-speed pitches. He works a game largely backwards, and then all of a sudden that 90 fastball up and in looks like it's 96 or 97. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A look toward first base, and Moya's going to throw to first base. Collier back in, standing up. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joe DeLuca, who has swung the bat very well against the Barnstormers, hitting .372 in this season series. And Moya will go to first base again. And he will keep doing it until he is doggone good and ready to throw a pitch. We've seen this go on often with Gabriel Moya. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Moya looks toward first, and he's going to go there once more. The fans can get on him. The opposing team can get on him. The sound system can get on him. That does not matter to Gabriel Moya. He is trying to psychologically wear down DeLuca. Not so much Collier. None of those throws to first base has been a test to the base runner. 1-2 to DeLuca. When does Moya come to the plate? Now. And it has popped up foul and out of play, so DeLuca hangs in there. We continue with a count of 1-2. Collier, the base runner. Bottom half of the 6th inning. The two clubs tied at the top of the Northern Division standings here in the second half, duking it out. In doubleheader baseball tonight, following the remnants of Hurricane Ida coming through yesterday. The Barnstormers won the series opener 8-5 with a late rally here on Tuesday night. 1-2 pitch coming. DeLuca looks at ball 2 off the inside corner. Now the count evens up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Michael Baca, the shortstop, waits on deck. Augie Silk in position for the win tonight. He went the required 5 innings. He would beat Southern Maryland for the 2nd time and go to 4-4 on the season if the Barnstormers can hang on the rest of the way. Southern Maryland has other plans here in this 6th inning. 2-2 on DeLuca. Collier out to a lead, and he's going to get another throw from Moya. Not one of these throws has meant serious business trying to pick Collier off first base. He's been back in standing every single time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. DeLuca, who has caught virtually every game for Southern Maryland against the Barnstormers this year since the first series. He awaits the 2-2 offering. Moya to the plate, and that is crushed to left field. We've got ourselves a ball game. A 2-run home run for DeLuca, a long shot. Robinson never turned around, and now it is 8-6. Still just 1 out here in the 6th inning as Moya has given up 2 home runs around a walk. He'll face Michael Baca, and the tying run moves into the on-deck circle. Moya has dominated right-handed hitters all year until this inning, but McAdams and DeLuca have gotten to him. It's 8-6. Baca now will just try to reach base, although he's got a little bit of pop himself. DeLuca's was a monster, and Ross is out to the mound to pay a visit to Gabriel Moya and see what is going on here. It may be the 5-run lead. So that 5-run lead is now 2. And you definitely have to contemplate going to Scott Schumann in the 7th inning now if it stays as it is here. What a monstrous home run by DeLuca off the 2-2 pitch. That cleared the clubhouse. So a good 400 feet plus off DeLuca's bat. Baca will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Moya left out on the hill to try and iron out the wrinkles here in this 6th inning. Against Southern Maryland, he had thrown 6 innings, giving up 2 hits and a run, and striking out 13 in his previous 6 appearances. But this inning turning into a nightmare for Gabriel Moya. Baca stands in. The pitch is inside and 1-0 with Cesar Trejo waiting on deck. The Barnstormers lead cut back to 2. We have helicopters flying overhead. Nobody throwing in the Lancaster bullpen. Moya to the plate. He gets Baca to swing and miss. So the count is 1-1. Boy, crazy things keep happening this season. The Barnstormers swing the bats, build a 5-run lead. And the guy who has been incredibly trustworthy in the second to last inning, Gabriel Moya, has given up 2 home runs here as the gap narrows. 1 ball, 1 strike, and it is well outside. Baca bats at 2-1. Still, Ross keeps the bullpen empty. This is up to Moya to get out of this 6th inning, holding on to now just a fraction of the lead that once was. Here's the 2-1 on Baca. He chased that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So important for Moya to get this out. Crosby grounded out routinely to start the inning, and since that, it has been highly problematic. Home run, walk, home run, 3 runs across. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Baca. Moya will go to work, stares in. Here's the pitch. He got him. Swing and a miss. Baca goes down. A critical second out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And now it will be Cesar Trejo stepping in. Trejo is 1 for 3. The Barnstormers with De La Rosa, Hoover, Schumpert, and then the pitcher spot in the top half of the 7th inning. And they would like to pick up some insurance. They're going to be facing a right-hander. Here is Trejo. He is 1 for 3 off the starter, Augie Silk. Moya goes to work with 2 outs. This is popped up. Coming back is De La Rosa, but no chance for a play. That one is up in my neck of the woods. You probably heard the thud as it landed up here somewhere. No balls and 1 strike on Cesar Trejo, the right-handed batting left fielder. 8-6 our score, bottom half of the 6th inning, and so much for low-scoring first games of doubleheaders here at Regency Furniture Stadium. We have seen 5 home runs along the way here tonight. 2 outs, nobody on base. Trejo bats at a strike, and that is lashed to second and gloved by Allemond. He will throw out Trejo, and Moya is finally through the inning. But Southern Maryland rallies with 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left on base. On to the 7th we go. The Barnstormers leading by the score of now 8-6.
Hey, $2 bill here, aka the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with Quick Cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at 150 grand. Plus Quick Cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Eight runs on 11 hits with 1 error for the Barnstormers. They have left 7 on base. It is 6 runs for the Blue Crabs on 8 hits with no errors, and 4 runners have been left aboard. Cody Strayer has come on for the top of the 7th inning to face all right-handed batters at the bottom of the order. De La Rosa, Hoover, and Schumpert. Should anybody get on, you probably will see Devon Torrance or Clea Luis Rendon, one or the other, step in to the batter's box for the pitcher's spot. Strayer, a newcomer into the game for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. On the year 0-2 with a 5.06 ERA, 16 innings, 19 hits. He's walked 8, struck out 5. He can be very tough on right-handed batters. He has a quirky windup and throws 3/4, a very jerky motion. Strayer, a 28-year-old from Worthington, Ohio, 6'1", and a 195-pounder. He had been in the Pecos League before coming here. Lancaster 8 and Southern Maryland 6. If we were looking for a quick exit from Regency Furniture Stadium tonight, it's not happening. With the second game still to follow, the Barnstormers on the way to Central Islip, technically Hauppauge, New York, for the hotel. A few miles away from Fairfield Properties Ballpark. The hotel is right along the Long Island Expressway. You just jump off of it, go underneath it, and you're right there. Anderson De La Rosa is 1 for 2. He has a walk. He singled in a run back in the 5th inning and then later scored one. He starts off the 7th inning against Strayer. Barnstormers 8, Southern Maryland 6. The baseball is a jumping here at Regency Furniture Stadium tonight on a night where you wouldn't necessarily expect it to be. The wind has died down. The flag is just draped on the pole now. It had been blowing out earlier. De La Rosa stands in against Strayer. The right-hander's first pitch reaches the outside corner for a called strike. It is 0-1. Jake Hoover on deck. He's perfect. And then Shumpert, who had a big double earlier. 0-1, the count to De La Rosa. Strayer comes back, and it's fouled into the padding, 0-2. In the bottom of the 7th, it is Silva, the pitcher spot, and Harris due up arguably against Schumann. That's probably where the Barnstormers are going to go, forced by the 3 runs in the 6th inning. De La Rosa fouls off the next pitch. Still 0-2 from Cody Strayer, who's just incredibly tough to pick up. DeLuca wants to have a word with Strayer about the signs, and not a timeout charge there. Barnstormers 8 and Southern Maryland 6. So you don't know, even if the 3 runs in the bottom half of the 6th inning tonight for Southern Maryland don't do anything as far as changing the final result of this game, it probably will keep Schumann out of game 2. And then the Barnstormers, if they get a close game there, they've got to find another way to shut it down. 0-2, the count to De La Rosa. Strayer working from the far first base side of the rubber, up and down a couple times. De La Rosa grows restless. He will get the timeout before the 0-2 pitch is served. Defense back with the catcher De La Rosa at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. The Strayer pitch is reached and lobbed down the right field line. Harris is there in position to make the catch. That is out number 1. Hoover will come to the plate. He has walked and has 2 singles, one bunting and 1 swinging away. A ground base hit into right to drive in a run. 1 run scored, 1 run batted in, and also that tremendous diving backhanded catch turned in against Harris back in the 5th inning for the final out, picked up by Augie Silk. 1 out, nobody on base here in the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Hoover takes that well off the outside corner. Ball 1, no strikes. Barnstormers 8, Southern Maryland 6. Home runs by McAdams and DeLuca in the bottom of the 6th inning, getting Southern Maryland within striking distance. Ball 2 is away to Jake. 2 balls and no strikes as he tries to remain perfect here tonight. Hoover, the third baseman, moved over to second in game 1, 0 for 5, drove in 2 runs. So he definitely has been effective in this series. 2 balls and nothing. He will look at a strike right straight through, 2-1. The play he made against Harris, reminiscent of the play that he made against Jimmy Paredes in the West Virginia series on Saturday night behind Tommy Shirley. That was a more important play given the circumstances, and an even better one lined out to right field. Coming on is Harris. He will make this catch for out number 2. And Shumpert will come to the plate. That ball hit a little bit harder than Harris thought, and it almost sailed over his head. 2 outs, and Shumpert will come to the plate. Nick with an RBI double in the 3rd inning. He has struck out looking both times since. Though the Blue Crabs have picked up a head of steam here in the latter innings. It'll be up to Schumann to shut it down. He's going to be seeking his 16th save on the season. To Shumpert, high and outside. It is ball 1-0. On deck is the pitcher spot. One 1-0 pitch, hard hit ground ball. That's through into left field, a base hit. So Shumpert is on 12 hits now for the Barnstormers on the night. And we'll have a pinch hitter stepping in. And a number certainly I do not recognize, but this is Devon Torrance. Devon steps in here, batting in the pitcher's spot. Caleb Gindel had been the designated hitter all night. He's wearing number 25. Nick Shumpert, the runner at first, with 2 men gone. Torrance looking to get Allemond to the plate here in this 7th inning, trying to build something. Shumpert leads off first. You could see him running as well. First offering to Devon is low. It is ball 1-0. 2 outs. We'll see if Shumpert gets on the move. He doesn't. Torrance dribbles it to foul off his foot. 1 ball and 1 strike on Devon. 12 hits and 8 runs for the Barnstormers. That is pretty good output against this Southern Maryland pitching staff. They have hit 3 home runs. It's been a terrific night at the plate, especially these last 5 innings. They were held hitless and scoreless the first 2. 1 ball, 1 strike to Devon Torrance. Ball 2 fades outside and low. First guy batting from the left side of the plate to get a look at Strayer here tonight. Allemond will turn around and bat left-handed if his turn comes up. 2 balls and a strike to Torrance. He takes a rip and misses. And now it is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shumpert, the runner at first base. We haven't seen the Barnstormers try to run the entire game. Southern Maryland has done a great job keeping a cap on Lancaster's running game. 2-2 pitch is outside. Now it's automatic. Shumpert goes. Torrance batting at 3-2 here. Barnstormers with the 2-run lead. They trailed by 2 a couple of different times, 2-0 and 3-1. Tied it in the 4th, surged ahead in the 5th. And now hanging on for dear life. 3-2 to Torrance. Shumpert still being held, actually, over at first base. And now time is called. It'll continue at 3-2 here. Surprised to see Crosby still holding Shumpert on. It opens up the right side of the infield. And now Crosby comes off the bag. And Shumpert is ready to roll at 3 balls, 2 strikes here. Barnstormers will still have to get through the bottom half of the 7th inning. Gabriel Moya with a rough one in the 6th. Shumpert out to the lead. He will get started. The set, there he goes. The pitch, 3-2, swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch. Torrance is gone on strikes, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. So now we go to the bottom of the 7th. This ball game is on the line. It is Lancaster 8 and Southern Maryland 6.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries, plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
This is the sound of the kind of thrill ride summer was made for. Here's the sound of another one. At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll find great deals on our entire line of performance vehicles, including the RCF, LC, and IS. Strap in and then hold on tight. But hurry, the sale ends September 7th. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Eight to 6, we go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Scott Schumann takes over to face Silva, the pitcher spot, and Harris. So left, question mark, and right for Schumann in this seventh inning. Gabriel Moya giving up 3 runs on a couple of long balls in the bottom of the sixth. Otherwise, the Barnstormers could have kept Schumann back for the second game of the doubleheader and used maybe a Brent Teller in here or a Ben Wanger or somebody like that to wrap things up. Oh, now the game on the line at 8 to 6. Schumann is into his 36th game. He's 3-3 with 15 saves, 37 innings, 26 hits, 7 earned runs. He has walked 15 and he has struck out a whopping 58 on the season. Hard-throwing right-hander. He got the save here on Tuesday night, giving up a double, striking out 2. Ruby Silva will lead it off against him. He did not see Silva here on Tuesday. 8 to 6 our score. The Barnstormers scored 7 unanswered runs at one stretch in this game to go from a 3-1 deficit to an 8-3 lead, and then the Blue Crabs started hitting the home runs. Silva stands in. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. He's hit a double. The pitch is hit high in the air, up into the twilight, out to left field. Robinson tracking it. Trayvon is there. 1 pitch and 1 out. That gets rid of Silva and brings on the pitcher spot. And this is going to be a left-handed batter in Dario Pisano. They just reactivated him before this doubleheader. Pisano batting, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Schumann trying to save his 16th and get the Barnstormers back to a 1-game lead in the second half here in the Northern Division. Again, this has all the makings of a race right down to the wire between these two clubs. You never know. Long Island could get hot again and factor in, and that would open up a wild card spot, which at the moment Southern Maryland leads. If you give High Point the top spot in the second half in the South. No balls, 1 strike. And to Pisano, that is on the inside corner. Schumann has him at 0-2. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the 7th. Schumann trying to shut it down. Rough night for Moya back in the 6th inning. But the lead at the time was 5. 0-2. Schumann into his motion to Pisano. That one almost got away. Ball 1 and 2 strikes on the left-handed hitting Pisano as we start to hear the voices down below. They're shouting ball 1. 1-2. And to Pisano, it is ball 2, down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right fielder, David Harris, waits on deck, and then the first baseman, Alex Crosby. 2-2 on the pinch hitter, Dario Pisano, here in this 7th inning. Pisano at 307 on the year.
Here's the 2-2. Ground ball fair on an inside-out swing down the third baseline. Pisano will round first and hold with a single. Harris will come to the plate as the tying run. That was just a great piece of hitting by Dario Pisano. Schumpert was playing well off the line against the left-handed hitter, and he found the space in between. Well, Pisano is going to leave for a pinch runner. He is not the tying run, but David Harris is. 1 out, 1 on here in the 7th inning. A great at-bat for Pisano, and now he departs for the runner at first base. 8-6 the score in our ball game. I believe that was Kent Blackstone that went down there to run. David Harris, the batter, 13 home runs for him on the season, 0 for 2 with a walk tonight, robbed by Hoover back in the 5th inning. Schumann ready to go, and Harris, big swing and a miss, first pitch fastball. It is 0-1. Action has started in the Southern Maryland bullpen. Should we go to extra innings, which now certainly exists as a possibility. Southern Maryland with its 9th hit of the ball game, the single by Pisano. Here is the next offering. Harris swings and misses there, and Schumann has him at no balls and 2 strikes. Ball game on the line here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Schumann had Pisano at 0-2 and gave up the base hit. The Barnstormers are in the no doubles defense now. The outfielders are deep. The infielders fanned out. The 0-2, he got him. A swing and a miss. Harris is gone on strikes. But now the left-handed batting first baseman, Alex Crosby, will step in. And he's hit 11 home runs on the year. His biggest hit against the Barnstormers was a 3-run double at Clipper Magazine Stadium in the pouring rain. Crosby has hit 2 out against Lancaster. So the pinch runner, and again, I believe that's Blackstone at first base with 2 outs. Crosby will stand in. 2 outs, tying run at the plate here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Schumann needs 1 more out. Here is the first pitch to Crosby, lined right at Hoover. It'll end the ball game. Hoover positioned perfectly toward the second base bag. Crosby hit it well, but the Barnstormers hold on. Schumann gets the save, and the Barnstormers retake sole possession of first place in the second half standings with their 2nd in a row here at Southern Maryland. Still more baseball low on tap here tonight. We've got the 2nd game of this doubleheader. That will come up in roughly a half an hour. Barnstormers take the opener. We'll be back to recap it in just a bit. The final score, Lancaster 8 and Southern Maryland 6.
We are finally back enjoying Barnstormers baseball. I'm Adam Gocknauer from Gocknauer Appliances and thrilled to be sponsoring Barnstormers baseball yet again. We also wanted to thank all of you for your incredible support for our business during the pandemic. We are so happy to still be here helping you with the best brand names and the best prices of major appliances in the area. Enjoy the game, and we will continue to service you now and into the future. Gocknauer Appliances in East Petersburg and on the web at gocknauers.com.
New to Clipper Magazine Stadium in 2021 is Otto's Hospitality. Otto's is totally committed to the fan experience, from quality to convenience to safety. And they are committed to Lancaster, using local food purveyors whenever possible. New menu items like homemade Brauhaus pretzels, Black Angus burgers, and Otto's meatballs are sure to make any Barnstormers game even more fun. Use self-ordering kiosks or your phone instead of waiting in the lines. That's Otto's Hospitality.
Well, the first game got a little bit scary, but in the long run, the Barnstormers hang on for the 8-6 win over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. 8 runs on 12 hits with an error, and the Barnstormers leave 8. Southern Maryland 6 runs, 9 hits with 1 error, and 5 runners left out on the bases. The win goes to Augie Silk. Very solid start for Augie tonight. His second pretty good outing in a row. He defeated Lexington last week, and now Southern Maryland goes down to him. And
Silk levels his record at 4 up and 4 down. The loss goes to Misael Severio. He drops to 1-2 with the Blue Crabs, 1-5 overall in the Atlantic League. Scott Schumann with the save, his 16th of the season. Home runs in the ball game. The Barnstormers launched 3. Ladarius Clark goes to right center field in the 4th inning for his 11th home run of the year. Then Alejandro De Aza broke a 3-3 tie in the 5th inning. Solo shot down the right field line, number 8 for him. Blake Allemond added a solo home run in the 6th inning, his 18th home run of the campaign. They got to Gabriel Moya twice in the bottom of the 6th. Josh McAdams, a solo blast, his 19th of the year. And then Joe DeLuca slugged a 2-run home run, his 11th of the season. 2 hours, 41 minutes, the time of the 7-inning first game of the doubleheader. So much for getting out of here quickly here from Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, Maryland tonight, with the trip to Long Island looming ahead. Southern Maryland got on the board in the 2nd inning, putting a couple of 2-out runs on the board against Augie Silk. The Barnstormers were within a whisker of getting out of that inning unscathed. David Harris, the runner at first base, he started to go. He took a step towards second base on a swinging third strike to Josh McAdams. Anderson De La Rosa fired down to first base. The throw was to the foul side. Dugan swept the tag around, just missed. And then everything came apart for a while. The next pitch, the first offering to Zach Collier, was thrown away. That moved Harris to second. Collier singled into right field, and Harris scored easily when the ball was bobbled momentarily by Ladarius Clark. Joe DeLuca then lined a single into left. Michael Baca singled to right. That produced the 2nd run of the inning, and on that play, Clark was charged with an error that allowed DeLuca to take 3rd and Baca to go to 2nd. Cesar Trejo, though, grounded out the 3rd base, ending the inning with Southern Maryland up by the score of 2-0. The Barnstormers got 1 back in the 3rd when Jake Hoover walked leading off, took 3rd on a bad pickoff throw by catcher Joe DeLuca. Nick Schumpert pounded a long double to the gap in left center field, driving in the run. Schumpert, though, never budged off of second base through 3 consecutive batters. Southern Maryland held the lead 2-1 and extended that lead in the bottom of the 3rd. Ruby Silva led off with a double to left field, took 3rd on a 1-out chopper by David Harris to the shortstop, and then Alex Crosby slapped a single 1-hop off the glove of Schumpert over at 3rd to drive in the run to make it 3-1. The next 7 runs belong to the Barnstormers. Clark with the 2-run homer in the 4th inning after Kelly Dugan was hit by a pitch. In the 5th, De Aza lined his 8th home run of the season down the right field line. That was against the starter Severio. He was chased when Dugan singled up the middle. The first 4 batters to face usually strong setup man Andres Burseno had base hits. Clark singled to center. Robinson doubled to right to drive in 1. That was a ground rule double. Anderson De La Rosa followed with a single to score Clark. However, Robinson was thrown out at the plate on the play. De La Rosa took 2nd on the throw home. He scored when Jake Hoover grounded a single into right field. The Barnstormers were up 7-3. It was extended to 8-3 on the Allemond home run up onto the picnic deck in the top of the 6th. However, Josh McAdams with the solo home run in the bottom of the 6th made it 8-4. Zach Collier walked, and Joe DeLuca crushed a home run, the longest of the 5 we saw tonight. It was out of here by plenty. Trayvon Robinson didn't even turn around on it. That made it 8-6, but Schumann was able to nail it down in the 7th inning for his 16th save of the campaign. That was the story of Game 1 here tonight. Game 2 is still to come. Darryl Thompson, the reigning Atlantic League Pitcher of the Year and the odds-on favorite to collect that honor once again, will be on the hill for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the 2nd game of the doubleheader. Thompson will come in with a record of 10-2 and an ERA of 3.21, which is Gibson-esque by 2021 Atlantic League standards. The Barnstormers countering with Dominic DeSabatino. It's been a while since he has picked up win number 9. He'd love to get his 10th here tonight. DeSabatino 9-4 going into Game 2
of our twin bill. So that's the story. We're going to take a break for about 20, 25 minutes, and then be back with you for the second game of our doubleheader here tonight. The Barnstormers seek the sweep of the doubleheader and the series, which would certainly put this club in good shape heading up to Long Island. So we'll be back with you around 8:15, and for those of you joining us, I'm going to reset the system and bring up another file, so be ready to jump back in for Game 2 of our doubleheader at approximately 8:20.